What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories.
2VC 026. Lai Mu's T-Dolphin, Sora personally watched the battle. 026. Lai Mu's T-Dolphin, Sora personally watched the battle. I don't have to go. As soon as Momosuke heard the news, he immediately asked in confusion. After Dohara confirmed again, Momosuke frowned a little. She always felt that it would be very unreliable for Chado to test Lai Mu's potential. It's the same for everyone, because we have already fought Zephyr Admiral today, and the outcome cannot be changed. As Lai Mu finished speaking, Momosuke finally understood. That's right, but what is the purpose of the T-Dolphin? According to Chado's character, he shouldn't interfere in a recruit's potential test. Could it be the reason why he and Lai Mu went to the square together today? Thinking this way, Momosuke was a little dissatisfied. She felt that she was causing trouble for Lai Mu. Time quickly came to the next day. Because of Lai Mu's performance in the hands of Zephyr Admiral yesterday, all Marine soldiers were looking forward to it. A Marine recruit who can compete with Admiral. How can it not be shocking? Moreover, the performance of Lai Mu's gravity fruit and its domineering power are impressive. No, the time has not reached 8 o'clock, and all Marine members have come to watch. As long as they are sailors who are thirsty for power. As long as there is no mission. Those who are available have basically arrived. The Marine headquarters in Marineford gathers 8,000 Marine soldiers all year round, and including some with positions, the number exceeds 10,000. Of course, Marine strength is far more than 10,000 people. Most of the soldiers are scattered at various bases across the sea. At this time, the crowd on the battlefield was surging, all of them were sailors wearing Marine uniforms, and the whole scene was very lively. Have you heard? This time it's the T-Dolphin Rear Admiral testing Lai Mu's potential. T-Dolphin. That's the only Marine Rear Admiral we have with Akainu, Aokiji, and Kizaru in our headquarters. The power is unfathomable. How did I hear before that it was tested by Momosuke Rear Admiral? It seems that the T-Dolphin Rear Admiral reported it to Marshal Kong and asked him to test it himself. The gossip has come out. The T-Dolphin Rear Admiral is pursuing Momosuke Rear Admiral. As a result, yesterday, it seems that Lai Mu and Momosuke Rear Admiral met together. Therefore, the T-Dolphin Rear Admiral wanted to test it personally. So, is there really a situation? I understand. Lai Mu Rear Admiral is in trouble. On the high viewing platform, a burly figure appeared. Marshal of the Naval Headquarters, Kong. In the current Marine system, there is no higher title than Marshal. So, if anyone has the final say about Marine, it is naturally Kong in the stands. Marshal Kong, the time is about to reach 8 o'clock. T-Dolphin and Lai Mu are already preparing backstage at the battle arena. It's about to start, Sengoku Admiral said on the side. If Lai Mu hadn't been so famous in the past 2 days, Kong wouldn't have been able to watch the recruit in person. But I can't help but Kong also likes to eat melons. Moreover, the T-Dolphin is still the only son of his subordinates, so it would be good to take this opportunity to observe the T-Dolphin's training progress. Since Marshal Kong is here in person, no matter how lazy Kizaru Aokiji is, he still wants to support him. After all, you have to give your martial face. It can be said that the battle between Lai Mu and the T-Dolphins attracted the attention of all Marine officers in the naval headquarters. At this time, backstage on the battlefield, Lai Mu was getting ready to take the stage. As I was passing through a narrow aisle, I was stopped by someone. After seeing this somewhat vulgar face, Lai Mu couldn't help but frown. Naval headquarters is really full of talented people. I originally thought that Kizaru was a wretched person, but I didn't expect that the T-Dolphin was even worse. At least Kizaru's temperament is there. Being obscene is obscene. He doesn't pretend and shows his true colors. This T-Dolphin is quite good. A little bit vulgar, but also a little funny. Somewhat nondescript. What's the matter, Rear Admiral? Lai Mu said lightly. Chado took a figure-footed step and hung an unknown samurai sword on his waist. He said slightly provocatively. I'm going to open it up in a moment. I want you to be serious. The sword has no eyes and it will hurt you. But it's not good. Lai Mu showed a meaningful smile and said, is it because of Momosuke Rear Admiral? Lai Mu, who is deeply involved in the original work, understands everyone very well. Naturally, we also know that the T-Dolphin is a rare licking dog in the pirate world. In the official information card, T-Dolphin claims to have confessed 100 times. But that was 20 years later. According to the current frequency, it is far more than that. To be honest, Lai Mu really appreciates the T-Dolphin's perseverance. However, if the fire burns him, Lai Mu will not show mercy. Lai Mu knew in his heart that his system was focused on attention value, and the stronger the emotion, the higher the attention value. Now, the T-Dolphin has set its sights on him. Be it hatred or jealousy. It doesn't matter. The key is to be very careful. In this way, Lai Mu said it very straightforwardly. Hearing what Lai Mu said, Chado was obviously stunned and his face became ugly. It was obvious that he had been hit in some way. And what Lai Mu said the next second. It makes the T-Dolphin so angry that it will explode. 027. Momosuke thinks Lai Mu can handle it. Diamond draw. 027. Momosuke thinks Lai Mu can handle it. Diamond draw. What Momosuke? What nonsense are you talking about? This is naval headquarters. I am simply testing you as required. T-Dolphin saw through his thoughts and immediately retorted nervously. Moreover, he used the regulations of the naval headquarters as a backing, and he spoke grandly. However, what Lai Mu said next directly made him break his guard. Now, Lai Mu's mind kept ringing with beeps, and he knew that this was a signal that Momoshiki was approaching. For Momoshiki, Lai Mu had a good impression, but it didn't reach the level of being interested. However, now he deeply understands the benefits of attention points. Naturally, as long as there is an opportunity, he will seize it. Nowadays, Momoshiki is being harassed by the T-Dolphins and goes to great lengths. As long as he helps Momoshiki, he will gain Momoshiki's favor and attention, which is a big income. As for the T-Dolphin, Lai Mu knew very well that this person was targeting him because he misunderstood his relationship with Momoshiki, but it didn't matter. What image he had in the other person's mind didn't matter. The important thing is whether you can pay attention to his degree value. Like the golden lion, he carries strong negative emotions about himself. If you switch to Cha-Do, you might get a lot of attention points from T-Do. Moreover, Lai Mu knows that Momoshiki and T-Dolphin will become Marine Admiral candidates in the future. They are also considered to have the highest combat power among Marines except Admiral and are key players in the later stage. Such an important role will provide Lai Mu with a lot of attention. It's even less possible for him to let it go. As Momoshiki gets closer and closer to the two, Lai Mu said to the T-Dolphin, somewhat hating the fact that iron cannot become steel. Rear Admiral, let me tell you the truth. Momoshiki Rear Admiral told me about you and your shameless pursuit methods, which made her tireless. But now that I'm here, everything on your side should be over. What? Although what Lai Mu said was ambiguous, it would definitely make the T-Dolphin make random guesses. After all, the T-Dolphin has already regarded Lai Mu as his love rival. And now the love rival is saying such words, which is undoubtedly adding salt to the wound of Cha-Do. What makes Cha-Do even more angry is that Lai Mu has just entered the public eye. Or, the relationship between Momoshiki and Lai Mu is heating up quickly. Or, there has been a relationship between Momoshiki and Lai Mu for a long time. If it is the first one, it will make Cha-Do feel that he is inferior and not competitive at all compared to Lai Mu. If it is the second one, it will make the T-Dolphin feel that he has no idea until the end of the licking, and is a big fool. Isn't this as useless as a pig? No matter what, Cha-Do's mentality exploded at this time. Lai Mu's follow points are also rising, reaching 920,000, and she will soon be satisfied with the diamond pointer draw. And at this time, at the corner of the corridor, Momoshiki leaned lightly against the wall. Hear the conversation between the two completely. How could she not be clear about what Lai Mu meant? Perhaps it was because Lai Mu heard some rumors at naval headquarters that he solved the problem for himself. But he was facing a Marine Rear Admiral. Moreover, the T-Dolphin has something to do with Marshal Kong. Doesn't this mean sacrificing your own future to help yourself? Immediately, Momoshiki was moved by Lai Mu's actions. She felt, I have only known Lai Mu for a short time, and they are both swordsmen who focus on swordsmanship. They have the same interest in famous swords, and they may be a suitable candidate for practicing swordsmanship in the future. Such Lai Mu is really outstanding. His behavior is completely in line with his own taste. Far more acceptable than T-Dolphins and others. Lai Mu, he can really get along. After thinking clearly, Momoshiki walked directly towards the location of the two of them. Since Lai Mu is willing to help him, how can he suffer a loss at the hands of Cha-Do? I had better tell him some news about the T-Dolphin first. So that Lai Mu can be prepared. For example, it is not that simple for T-Dolphin to become an elite in Rear Admiral at such a young age. The T-Dolphin has rough skin and thick flesh, amazing defense, and quite strong strength. Because, he is a zone pig fruit ancient species pteroragnathic pig form ability user. In the corridor, T-Dolphin was so angry that he was speechless. Now he felt as if his heart had suddenly been ripped out of his body. His body was shaking with anger. He pointed at Lai Mu and shouted accusations, but could not say anything. Lai Mu looked indifferent, although it is said that, it is better to demolish 10 temples than destroy a marriage. But neither of them came to fruition in the end. Therefore, Lai Mu has no burden in her heart. Lai Mu hesitated and said, however, I have a suggestion. Before Lai Mu finished speaking, a glimmer of hope suddenly rose in Cha-Do's heart. Could it be, he wants to give Momoshiki to me? Is the condition that I be allowed to release water on the battlefield? Cha-Do rubbed his hands and instantly became a little expectant. But soon, the T-Dolphin was hit again. You will definitely fail this test. Please don't bother Momoshiki again. Otherwise, the sword has no eyes, and it will not be good to spend time in the hospital bed in the future. As soon as Lai Mu finished speaking, Cha-Do burst out with a burst of momentum. Moreover, hard black burrs grew on his arms, neck, and face. He breathed out a roaring sound, and the hot air made the narrow corridor heat up, and his eyes turned scarlet. Zone Demon Fruit Power. Seeing this, Lai Mu didn't feel any nervousness, and quickly judged that the T-Dolphin was a person with zone ability. And according to this form, it is not an ordinary zone devil fruit. It is very likely that it is an ancient species. Of course, phantom beast species are also possible. According to the status of the subsequent T-Dolphin Marine Admiral candidate, it is estimated that this devil fruit also has great potential. At this time, Cha-Do was already mad and wanted to kill Lai Mu in the corridor. Ding. You received 50,000 points of attention from Marine Rear Admiral Momosuke Gion. Ding. You received a total of 80,000 attention points from Marine Rear Admiral. Meet the conditions for the Diamond Pointer Lottery. Do you want to choose the lottery now? 028. Ultimate. Luxurious reward options. 028. Ultimate. Luxurious reward options. Hearing the reminder in his head, Lai Mu was a little surprised. Unexpectedly, I won the Diamond Lottery so quickly with no effort at all. However, it is better to solve the problem of T-Dolphins first. And Momosuke seemed to be getting closer. T-Dolphin, this is the passage to the battlefield, and Marshal Kong is directly above. In the slightly dim passage, Momosuke's tall figure appeared. There was a hint of indifference in his tone. Seeing that the person who came was Momosuke, coupled with the cold words, Chado felt a little chilled, and his sudden anger was extinguished in an instant. After all, they haven't officially entered the battlefield yet. Nothing done was in compliance with Naval Headquarters regulations. If you take action here, the punishment will definitely come to you. He may even be demoted because of this violation. But Momosuke ignored the T-Dolphin at all and came directly to Lai Mu, saying in a friendly voice, "Come with me, I will take you to the battlefield. I have something to say to you." Looking at the two people leaving, they seemed to match each other. The T-Dolphin felt like vomiting blood. In the passage, Momosuke told Lai Mu some information about the T-Dolphin. The T-Dolphins are zone, pig fruit, ancient species, and people with the ability to form the horrid pig form. In fact, not many people know that the fundamental reason is that the T-Dolphins are generally not shown in front of people. There are many such people in Naval Headquarters. They were named Naval Headquarters, secret weapon. And like Vice Admiral Garp's son, Monkey D. Dorag, is the one who hides the deepest among them. Of course, T-Dolphins are also possible. According to Momosuke's own speculation, perhaps the T-Dolphin is not as good as Akainu Kizaru Aokiji, but he is also the strongest elite among the three of them, and his strength is very likely to be above his own. After all, the opponent is Demon Fruit Power, a very rare ancient species. Lai Mu, on the other hand, listened and nodded along the way. In my heart, I was focused on my own system carousel lottery. System, exchange for a diamond pointer and choose a lottery. Ding. The level of this lottery is Diamond Ultimate level. The rewards have been refreshed. 1. Intermediate Conqueror's Hockey. 2. The Swordsmanship of the Great Swordsman of the One-Touch Style. 3. Flying Thunder God Technique. 4. Top Conqueror's Winding Technique. 5. Top Armament Hockey, with Emission Technique. 6. Intermediate Mental Power. 7. Iron Giant Physique. 8. Intermediate Perception. 9. Double Sword Style Great Swordsman Swordsmanship. 10. Top Creativity. Seeing such a luxurious reward list, Lai Mu's heart moved. Among other things, here are the rewards that he is most concerned about. For example, Conqueror's Winding Skills, Double Sword Style Swordsmanship, Top Armament Hockey, Top Creativity, Iron Giant. You know, these are ultimate skills. Moreover, there are two Lai Mu special attention. The first is the Flying Thunder God Technique. This is a ninjutsu that belongs to the Hokage world. What kind of effect will it have if used among pirates? Flying Thunder God Technique is a space ninjutsu. As long as you mark it in advance, you can even teleport to any corner of the world. Obviously, purely in terms of movement effect, this is much more powerful than Kizaru's Sparkling Fruit, Enel's Thunder Fruit, and Big Bear's Meatball Fruit. The second is the physique of the Iron Giant. Things like Conqueror's Entanglement, etc., are all high-end applications of hockey, and Lai Mu is more or less familiar with them. For the physique in One Piece, it is unique. And they are all very powerful. Just like Charlotte Linlin, known as the Steel Balloon, her combat power will be greatly increased. And Kaido, because of the development of Zone, the Fish Fruit, and the Blue Dragon form of the Phantom Beast species, even touched the edge of immortality. This is not why Kaido's name came from. As for the other four emperors, red-haired Shanks, he is born with a hockey physique. He has a natural advantage in the use of conquerors. In the subsequent plot, he is known as the strongest hockey man. Speaking of the current Iron Giant, follow the reward information given by the system. Iron Giant. The skin and bones of the whole body will be strengthened, and according to the owner's personal will, it can stretch freely, and even become a giant. Close black lens bracket. If you really want to describe it in one situation. That is the evolved version of Luffy who ate the rubber fruit. Its ability is equivalent to Luffy covering Hockey's fifth gear. Of course, physical abilities are not rubber fruit abilities. Therefore, the Iron Giant's physical fitness is better than Luffy's fifth level, and his shape is also much more beautiful, because the Iron Giant can be shaped. So, Lai Mu also values this physique a little more. I don't know if I can get it. Gold hands have the characteristic of being drawn twice, so will diamond hands have more? Without hesitation, Lai Mu gave the order. The masonry pointer quickly rotated on the turntable. Soon, the pointer hovered over a reward. Congratulations, host. Obtained. Top Armament Hockey, with Emission Skill. 029. Collect rewards and the potential test begins. 029. Collect rewards and the potential test begins. Top Armament Hockey. Although this reward is not as good as the Flying Thunder God Technique and Iron Giant, it can still meet Lai Mu's needs. So, Lai Mu was not frustrated. Armament Hockey is a very important setting. It can be said that if you face a Logia ability user, you can only restrain it by relying on the weapon color and sea stone. Otherwise, no matter how strong the opponent is, there is nothing they can do. Lai Mu vaguely remembers that during the Summit War, Logia 3 Admiral Dafa Kamui, like Kizaru paddling, only soiled his clothes, entirely because of the powerful attribute of being able to neutralize attacks naturally. Moreover, the weapon color has a more advanced application, which is emission. This ability is also a trump card against those with pervert defense. Didn't think much about it. Lai Mu looked at the diamond carousel again. Because, as he expected, diamond hands can also branch. Just like a watch, it has hour, minute, and second hands. In the corridor, Momosugi was explaining the devil fruit ability of the T-Dolphin to Lai Mu while walking. Lai Mu, Zone Pig Fruit Ancient Species Terror Jaw Pig Form's defense is much stronger than the average zone. According to the swordsmanship of an ordinary swordsman, it cannot break through his defense. You must be careful. Okay, you don't have armament hockey yet, so don't confront him head-on. Even if it's an ordinary armed weapon, it's probably useless if it touches the hard skin of the T-Dolphin. Hey, I don't know how to deal with it. Yeah, okay, I suggest you start with your gravity fruit. Maybe you can find a way to restrain him. Well, that's it, although Lai Mu was focused on lottery. But he also found time to echo Momosugi's concern. After all, the other party told him so much information about his opponent, so he couldn't be too negligent. However, I now have armed emission, and a few T-Dolphins are not enough to fight by myself. Therefore, Lai Mu actually didn't listen. At this time, the diamond hands continue to turn. Soon, hover again. With a burst of golden light flashing, Lai Mu finally saw clearly the reward he had received. Top creativity. Your understanding of swordsmanship, taijutsu, and hockey usage has risen to several levels. You can easily learn some basic skills, create new moves, and even combine multiple abilities to attack. Close black lens bracket. Seeing this, Lai Mu's heart moved. There is no doubt that this is a powerful talent. Unexpectedly, one day, I would become a martial arts genius. At this moment, many combat skills appeared in Lai Mu's mind out of thin air, and even the gravity fruit ability gained several layers of understanding. The simplest change is, he can fly. That's right. Like Golden Lion, he can make himself lose gravity and take off directly. Of course, the operation method is completely different from Lion Fruit. It is more of an anti-gravity, just like an astronaut in a space capsule is weightless. Of course, it is very inconvenient to move while floating like this, and it cannot exert its combat effectiveness at all. However, if you apply gravity to yourself, Lai Mu will be like a bullet and can reach where you want to go. Look at the Flying Thunder God technique and the Iron Giant physique. Lai Mu shook his head to calm himself down. If you can't draw it, forget it. Anyway, I have gained a lot of benefits today, and as long as I gain attention in the future, I will have a good chance to refresh 2 skills again. And just when Lai Mu felt a little regretful, the diamond hands split again. There is actually a third pointer. It's truly a diamond pointer level lottery, 3 times. At this moment, Lai Mu completely understood the lottery rules of his system. On average, 330,000 attention points can be used to draw a prize, but the luxury of the reward is not comparable to that of the golden pointer. Therefore, in the future Lai Mu, only diamond draws are prepared. Soon, the diamond hand rotates and stops. Ding! Congratulations on obtaining Iron Giant physique. The Iron Giant's physique can only be improved in battle, and the improvement is divided into 3 dimensions: hardness, softness, and enlargement. Seeing this, Lai Mu finally smiled knowingly. In this way, he has satisfied the elements of being a strong person. Soon, the light in the corridor became brighter and brighter, and there was a battlefield ahead. The angry T-Dolphin has been waiting here for a long time. Countless Marine soldiers were also gathered at the scene. The battlefield is completely different from Marineford Square. The square is used for training and there will be no big fights. However, the battlefield is designed for battle, both in terms of venue quality and architectural design. Like the Colosseum, in the middle is the fighting area, with stands on all sides. At this time, Lai Mu, led by Momosugi, also stepped onto the battlefield. As the 2 swordsmen with outstanding temperament entered the venue, all the sailors immediately started talking. Is he recruit Lai Mu? I wonder what kind of performance he will have this time. If he can fight back and forth with the T-Dolphin Rear Admiral, then he must be the Rear Admiral. No, the promotion is too fast. After Ensign, Lieutenant Junior Grade, and Captain, there is Rear Admiral. If Rear Admiral is promoted, wouldn't he be promoted to 3 levels in a row? Who said he is a user with gravity fruit ability and possesses observation hockey? But why does Momosugi Vice Admiral side with him? It's over, the T-Dolphin Rear Admiral's face is so dark. I think I know why the T-Dolphin Rear Admiral came to the stage to test. At this time, Kong looked at the 3 people on the fighting platform, and then heard the discussions of the surrounding Marine soldiers. Only then did he realize that he had been tricked by the T-Dolphin. Damn Cha Doja-ji, how dare you have such thoughts? Does this have the potential to be tested? However, Sora didn't say much. Then, he turned to Sengoku Admiral and said, I have to deal with official business later, let's get started. 030. Everyone has their own plans for Golden Lion. 030. Everyone has their own plans for Golden Lion. Be careful. After saying that, Momosugi gave up the place to Lai Mu and the other 2. Soon, with Sengoku's announcement, this time's potential test officially began. This type of potential test is rare in naval headquarters. There are only 2 opportunities a year. Only those talents with explosive potential have the opportunity to attract everyone's attention. Because this process is designed to convince everyone. At the same time, it is also a channel set up by naval headquarters to cultivate talents. As long as it passes the potential test, it can be said that Lai Mu's future is limitless. At this time, on the battlefield, all the elites of naval headquarters have gathered. The atmosphere was also explosive. Amidst the excitement, Kong was describing something to Sengoku Admiral. I just got the information. Golden Lion seems to have made big moves recently. It has been sailing in the new world, as if it is looking for something. Sengoku Admiral is the resourceful general, and Sora is also asking for his opinion. It's Pluton. We caught the person who provided information to Golden Lion, and after prying open his mouth, we discovered the information about Pluton. Hearing this, Kong frowned. Pluton, where is this ancient weapon? Pluton is one of the 3 ancient weapons. It is a power that naval headquarters fear. If it is taken by an ambitious person like Golden Lion, the consequences could be disastrous. Faced with this news, Kong looked a little solemn. According to intelligence sources, Pluton is in the hands of the Roger pirates. My intelligence personnel are checking their trajectory. As long as they are found, we can pursue them. It is estimated that it will be within the next few days. Marshal Kong, let's take a look at Lai Mu's performance. His gravity fruit is an important force for us to capture the Golden Lion. It's even a decisive force. Sengoku stared at Lai Mu on the court and couldn't help but feel a little more hopeful. And Kong also realized the importance of the gravity fruit. He nodded and informed Zephyr. Well, after the test is over, let's put him in the headquarters and train him. On the battlefield, as Sengoku announced the start. The T-Dolphin didn't hesitate at all, and without even saying a harsh word, he just raised his knife and slashed at him. In his opinion, this Lai Mu must be taught a lesson. It is best to use some means to beat him until he cannot get out of bed. It is best to lie in the hospital for a year and a half. Now the T-Dolphin is very angry. Dang, dang, dang. After several clashes of swords, the two separated from the middle of the field. Lai Mu was not in a hurry. In his opinion, fighting against the T-Dolphin would allow him to make better use of the Iron Giant's physique. Therefore, he did not plan to use swordsmanship to fight against the T-Dolphin. The current T-Dolphin was just an experienced baby for Lai Mu. Opportunity not to be missed. How much can be collected? After the collision in swordsmanship, Chado finally figured out that although his achievements in swordsmanship would not cause him to lose quickly, he was definitely no match for Lai Mu. The opponent's defense was impeccable. And just yesterday, when I told my colleagues that I was going to fight Lai Mu, my colleagues said that Lai Mu was not easy and could even compete with Zephyr Admiral. I thought it was making a mountain out of a molehill before. But today he finally saw it. So, the T-Dolphin is already planning on how to teach Lai Mu a lesson in his Dreadpig form. Haha, the T-Dolphin frowned, and suddenly disappeared in a hurry. Because he had already analyzed Lai Mu's movements in his mind, and based on the opponent's sword skills, he couldn't break through his own defense. The T-Dolphin must use brute force to directly defeat Lai Mu. On the battlefield, there was a stabbing sound, and the T-Dolphin threw the knife towards Lai Mu, but it was easily blocked. The sword spun and stuck directly into the ground. His eyes flashed red, and he struck out from top to bottom with one kick. But this time, Lai Mu put away the knife and prepared to fight with physical skills. Although he did not acquire physical skills, he had previously acquired top-level innovative abilities, and swordsmanship is also a type of physical skills. Lai Mu can completely evolve swordsmanship into physical skills. Seeing Lai Mu's performance, it seemed that he wanted to fight with physical strength. Momosuke in the stands was shocked. Damn it, didn't I tell him? You need to use sword skills and fruit abilities. How can a Paramesha ability user without systematic training use fists to fight against a zone ability user who has experienced hundreds of battles? Momosuke held the kinpira around her waist tightly, her knuckles turning a little white. Sengoku, Zephyr and others on the stage also frowned. What's going on with this little guy? In everyone's impression, Lai Mu is a swordsman genius and a top demon fruit power. But he has never been shown to have fighting skills. As strong as the Golden Lion, he also relied on the dual sword style to gain a great reputation. Asking the Golden Lion to use physical skills to beat a strong man of the same level, such as Whitebeard and others, is undoubtedly courting death. People should formulate combat strategies based on their own advantages. Why is Lai Mu so reckless? Now, on the battlefield. Call out. The T-Dolphin's kick has already swept over. Lai Mu did not choose to dodge, but directly grabbed it with his hands. Suddenly, the Iron Giant's physique suddenly exerted force. The powerful force emitted from his waist and was quickly transferred to his arms. With a strong force, he directly slapped the T-Dolphin on the floor. Boom. 031. The form of the ancient species of Terrierjaw pig. News from Roger. 031. The form of the ancient species of Terrierjaw pig. News from Roger. The sudden powerful force immediately made the T-Dolphin panic. After being thrown to the ground, the T-Dolphin immediately became confused. Although he has not shown the form of the phantom beast species, the horrible jaw pig, he has had this power for 5 years, and in the past 2 years, the T-Dolphin has been running to the Devil Fruit Laboratory frequently. It can be said that his fruit ability has been developed to a very powerful level. Just say basic weight. The T-Dolphin has reached 800 pounds. The strength in his body can be imagined. But under such circumstances, Lai Mu could actually block the attack so easily, and even throw it away directly. Who would believe it? Cough cough cough. When the dust and smoke dissipated, Shadow coughed violently in the smoke. With his rough skin and thick flesh, he felt that his internal organs had been displaced. But Lai Mu didn't end it and directly pursued the victory. He jumped. A punch from top to bottom. If it weren't for the T-Dolphin rolling to avoid it. This punch will hit his face firmly. Looking at the big hole that appeared on the field, Shadow was still frightened. Is this the power of your gravity fruit? Quote. Lai Mu shook his arm. You are overthinking this. This is just the power of my fist. Soon, a powerful air current swept away from Lai Mu. Armed color coverage. Lai Mu's arms, covered in military color, seemed to be dark with a hint of noble purple. This time, everyone watching the battle was stunned. I originally thought that Lai Mu had the gravity fruit and was already very powerful. As a result, he had an affair yesterday and even had a back and forth with Zephyr Admiral. This was already very shocking, but today armament hockey was repaired, and Lai Mu not only covered the fist part, but 2 complete arms. Everything in the world of pirates requires physical strength. But Lai Mu, who has the physique of an iron giant, has no shortage of physical strength at all, and even gets stronger as he fights. As long as he is not shot in the head or has his heart blown out, with his tenacious recovery ability, he can still be as good as a normal person. In other words, the Iron Giant's physique is originally equivalent to a defensive zone devil fruit, and it also comes with an ability similar to Paramesh's rubber. Oh my god, what kind of monster is this new guy? He's only 21 years old, right? Top fruit ability, observation hockey, armament hockey, how did he do it? You can't mess with this guy. If you meet him in the future, you have to go around him. He might have the final say in the future naval headquarters. You idiot, it's only right for you to go around and curry favor with such a character. And I heard that Lai Mu is very easy to get along with. If a companion encounters difficulties, he will help. Because, if something happens, he will really get involved. Saw this scene. Momoshiki then realized that he was wrong, and very wrong. So far, none of the T-Dolphins have encountered Lai Mu. From this point of view, he is just warming up. How strong is this man? Not only is he so powerful in swordsmanship, he is also so good in physical skills, and he is willing to help himself. Thinking of this, Momoshiki's heart beat faster. Ha ha ha, you are indeed a good prospect that I have chosen. You don't have to take care of Sengoku and Lai Mu from now on. I will teach you everything. I guarantee that he will be able to catch up with Akainu and the others in less than a year. Zephyr laughed loudly, and the implication was to remind Sengoku, don't assign Lai Mu to do tasks, training is still important at the moment. A year is neither long nor short, but for a marine mission, a cycle is at least a month, or even several months. In the state of Lai Mu, how could Zephyr tolerate letting him go out and waste time? Sengoku did not deny it. He believed that this arrangement was very reasonable, and even thought that Lai Mu was expected to replace him and make the Golden Lion subdue him. Sengoku and Golden Lion are old rivals. But no one can do anything. Now that there is a devil fruit that can restrain lion fruit, and a recruit with such potential, how can Sengoku not be tempted? This is the recruit who came out of my boat. He will be a weapon against the Golden Lion in the future. You have to keep a close eye on him and not let him slack off. That's it. That's it. Phew. Zephyr took a deep breath from the cigar and exhaled a puff of smoke. Hear the conversation between 2 of his men, Admiral. Kong then took it seriously. I couldn't help but mutter. He is not only good at swordsmanship, but he has also integrated swordsmanship with physical skills. He is a genius swordsman, and his physique is also quite strong. It can be said that he makes up for the shortcomings of the swordsman. He is indeed a malleable talent. The battle is not over. It's been a few rounds. All the marine officers in the audience could see this. The T-Dolphin is being beaten passively. If this continues, defeat is inevitable. But the admirals present knew very well that the T-Dolphin was an ancient species with zone demon fruit power, and it was not so easy to defeat. According to the personality of the T-Dolphin, the ability is expected to be used soon. When the time comes, what surprises will we show you? As expected, while everyone is thinking, the T-Dolphin appeared again, and as the disgust dissipated, under 10,000 pairs of eyes, the T-Dolphin's pig fruit, ancient species, and horrible jaw pig form was displayed for the first time. The horrible jaw pig least transformation. In the stands. A golden flash flashed and quickly gathered into a figure. Yo yo yo, as the T-Dolphin serious. Gravity Boy is in danger. Zephyr was not surprised that the T-Dolphin used animal form. If he wanted to win Lai Mu, it would take a little time, not to mention the small rear admiral of the T-Dolphin. However, when he saw that the visitor was Kizaru, he couldn't help but ask in confusion, are you also concerned about Lai Mu's promotion? Kizaru twisted his mouth and put his hand on his face. No, Marshal Kong, our intelligence department, has obtained the location information of the Roger pirates. Upon hearing this, Kong immediately stared. Because, although Roger is a famous pirate, the current threat is far less than that of Golden Lion and Whitebeard. Really need to compare. It can be regarded as a comparison between the later 4 emperors and Supernova. And the reason why Kong attaches so much importance to it is entirely because of the word, Roger, which is now linked to, ancient weapon Pluton. 032. Kong summons, Lai Mu's justice. 032. Kong summons, Lai Mu's justice. After watching Lai Mu use armament hockey, Kong and others have already labeled him as a potential monster. In their view, Lai Mu's current strength is a gravity fruit ability user, a swordsman-level expert, an observation hockey awakener, and an armament hockey awakener. Thus, the Rear Admiral rank has been met. Well, let's go back to the headquarters immediately to discuss how to deal with Roger's problem. Lai Mu, directly assign him a Rear Admiral position. Also, Zephyr, you must train him well in the next year and not waste this talent. Kong had already defined Lai Mu and explained it to Zephyr solemnly. And Zephyr also nodded, but the smile on his face couldn't be hidden at all. Walk, just as the top combatants at Naval Headquarters were preparing to leave. The entire battlefield began to burst into enthusiastic exclamations. It seemed that everyone had seen something incredible. What? Vice Admiral is a zone demon fruit power, and it is a rare ancient species. Why is the armament hockey on your Lai Mu arm leaking like crazy? The abnormality of all the surrounding marine soldiers made Kong and others stop and look towards the battlefield. I saw the aura bursting out on the battlefield. In particular, the armament hockey gathered on Lai Mu's arms even began to emanate from his arms, and his whole body began to be wrapped in purple gold light. At this time, the T-Dolphin has transformed into its strongest defensive beast form. But when he saw the armament hockey that Lai Mu exuded, he suddenly felt bad. He is well informed and knows that there is a high-level application of armament hockey on the sea. This method of use is called emission. The condition for launching emission is to concentrate hockey on one point, and secondly, when attacking, extremely relaxed and radiating armament hockey. This kind of soft yet firm release ability is very difficult. It is extremely penetrating and can destroy the target's body. This kind of power only exists in the hands of a few top experts in Naval Headquarters. Like ordinary people, even if there is a method, they may not learn it. Just like Cha-Do himself, he also deliberately learned that emission is the release method, but because his hockey level is not the top, he couldn't learn it at all. In other words, Lai Mu's armament hockey has reached the top level. Coupled with his gravity fruit, the consequences of this battle will be unimaginable. As expected, when the T-Dolphin was worried, suddenly I felt my body sinking. The current T-Dolphin is in the form of the Dinignathus, also known as the Dinignathus. This is a prehistoric beast with a shoulder height of more than 2 meters and a body length of more than 3 meters. They have a pair of terrifying large canines, sharp premolars and a terrifyingly large mouth. At this moment, the T-Dolphin's limbs are covered with spines and hair, and it is thick and powerful. It looks like a pig, but its size is even greater than that of an adult bull elephant. However, under such circumstances, the T-Dolphin could only stand on the ground with difficulty, and even the floor was about to break. Even this ancient species cannot withstand such gravity. And at this time, Lai Mu is no longer prepared to hold back. The purpose of Lai Mu is just to attract attention and get familiar with the Iron Giant's physique. Now that it has been displayed, it is natural to add a finishing touch. Moment. Purple light burst out on the battlefield. Using the body of a steel giant, Lai Mu combined gravity and armament hockey emission to directly bombard the T-Dolphin's chest. The T-Dolphin's huge body flew backwards as if it had received a powerful blow. With a loud bang, the wall collapsed. Boom boom boom. ... Rescuer. Around the collapsed wall, the medical officer present observed the situation and shouted. Finally, the potential test ended with the T-Dolphin failing, and the doctor gave the result that he would have to lie in bed for a month. You must know that this is an esper of the ancient species, and his recovery ability is extremely powerful. Under such circumstances, he was still seriously injured. If it had been anyone else, the consequences would have been more serious. With the hateful attention constantly coming from his ears, Lai Mu smiled softly. Lai Mu was directly promoted to Rear Admiral due to his outstanding performance. He is also directly summoned by Kong. At the moment, in the office. In the office, Kong sits at the head table, while Sengoku and Zephyr sit on the side. Originally they were planning to hunt down Roger in order to gain control of the ancient weapon Pluton. But now with Lai Mu's outstanding performance, we have to deal with Lai Mu's promotion first. Lai Mu, you performed well, but your attack was a bit too harsh. Kong asked somewhat reproachfully. After all, it was just a test of potential, not a life and death battle. Lai Mu's attack was too harsh. Fortunately, the T-Dolphin only had a simple internal rupture and could recover in a month. Lai Mu was not nervous when he saw the current leader of Naval Headquarters. He explained lightly. Some powers have just been learned and have not been fully mastered. Now that you are promoted to Marine Rear Admiral, you will enjoy a monthly salary of 500,000 belly. All public benefits of Naval Headquarters will be open to you. This is the document that has been handed down. Please take a look. After a brief look, Lai Mu found that the treatment at Naval Headquarters was extremely good. If this were placed in modern society, they would be considered social elites. Marshal Xie Kong. In my opinion, I don't think there is any problem. Seeing this, Kong didn't stop and simply explained. In the next year, you should not leave Marineford. Zephyr will carry out targeted training for you, and you will not be assigned a headquarters mission until this time next year. Zephyr nodded, looked at Lai Mu optimistically and said, ha ha ha. Don't worry, as long as you are under my hands, I guarantee that you will be completely different from before. Here the arrangements given to him by his headquarters. Lai Mu frowned immediately. In fact, the reason is also very simple. Your abilities are not acquired through training, you just need attention. But now, in Marineford, I have fought what I need to fight, I have got jobs I need to go to, and I have met people I need to meet. The remaining potential is not of high value, and there is not much left to harvest. Therefore, in this case, we can only focus on the sea. Only those who will be influential in the future can attract the most attention. He wishes he had more strength if he were to stay at Marineford for a year. That was the last thing Lai Mu wanted to see. No. As a Marine, I should make it my duty to catch pirates. I think that compared to training, I am more suitable for fighting on the battlefield. Only continuous training on the battlefield is the fastest way for me. All the efforts I have made are just to safeguard the justice in my heart. 033. Position confirmed. Aokiji encounters the Roger Pirates. 033. Position confirmed. Aokiji encounters the Roger Pirates. As Lai Mu's words fell, the three top Marines present all frowned. It's not that they don't agree with Lai Mu's words, on the contrary, they agree very much. As a Marine soldier, you should catch pirates and bring peace to the sea. However, they believe that although Lai Mu is already a Marine Rear Admiral, there is still a lot of potential that has not been unleashed because he is too outstanding. It would be too risky to send him on a dangerous mission now. There are countless dangers on the sea, and many wonderful and beautiful people have fallen into the abyss of the sea before they shine. In order to avoid this situation, Lai Mu can only be arranged to train at the base first. Therefore, Zephyr shook his head and refused without even thinking about Lai Mu's request. No, you haven't grown up yet and are not suitable for dangerous missions. Sengoku also reminded from the side. Lai Mu, in naval headquarters, military merit is the best way to get promoted. It is very important. However, if your strength improves, the way to obtain military merit will be much more convenient. I also suggest that you don't rush to go on missions. Kong was sitting on the marshal's chair, tapping his fingers on the table. Today's Lai Mu indeed gave him a lot of surprises. Especially the weapon-colored emission, it's a genius. You know, in the entire marine system, there will never be more than 20 people who can use this power, and this also includes those hidden powers. On the surface, there are only 5. Under such circumstances, Kong cannot ignore this talent. After thinking for a moment, Lai Mu said, "What do you think of the Roger Pirates?" Currently, the Golden Roger Pirates are the leader among the supernovas, because their behavior is not high profile and has not yet reached the level where Marine is afraid. Moreover, Vice Admiral Garp is also keeping an eye on this pirate group. Of course, although Garp personally won the lottery, if he really wanted to fight, he would be even more powerful than Admiral. As for why it's not Admiral, it's entirely because I don't want to be. Garp is really strong in force, but he is a bit careless in what he does. I have been chasing Roger for so long, and I still don't have much information. Now, since Lai Mu has proven to be good at martial arts, let's test his potential as a think tank. Roger Pirates. Hearing Marshal Kong's question, Lai Mu immediately paid attention. Is the future pirate king Roger going to appear soon? After the Valley of the Gods, naval headquarters blocked the news and did not expose Roger's reputation. Therefore, the Roger Pirates were not as famous as Golden Lion and others. Even Lai Mu, who was fused with memories, could not find any news about Roger from the original owner. Therefore, the Roger Pirates are very low-key. Something must have happened, otherwise Kong wouldn't ask himself this question. According to the current time point, the Battle of 8 Wall that will shake the entire sea is about to come. This battle has also completely changed the pattern of pirate groups in the sea. The Golden Lion was affected by the storm in this naval battle. Not only did it, the pirate fleet was scattered by huge waves, and the Golden Lion himself also suffered a major blow. A rudder was driven directly into his head. From then on, Golden Lion's power began to decline. And Roger will become famous throughout the sea and eventually become the pirate king. Even Golden Lion himself did not expect such a strong opponent to appear. This naval battle can be regarded as a turning point in history. According to this time point, Roger is currently fighting against the Golden Lion. After several encounters, he finally found that no one can do anything to the other. Then Golden Lion proposed to join forces with Roger in order to control the Pluton weapon. In the end, he was rejected, and the two pirate groups launched a decisive battle. I've learned about the Roger Pirates. Their crews are all elite and they don't win by numbers. And Roger himself is also a top-notch strongman, and the threat is no less than that of the Golden Lion. Moreover, I heard that Roger holds secrets that ordinary people cannot access. As for what it is, I don't know. I just got some gossip. Lai Mu didn't tell anything more about Roger, and even pretended not to know about the Valley of Gods. But, this also fits Kong's impression of Roger. At that time in the Valley of Gods, Sora was also one of the main participants. He had naturally met Roger, but at that time the Roger Pirates and naval headquarters were in a joint state, and the rocks were too powerful, so Sora had no time to take care of him. This pirate group. After completely defeating rocks, the Roger Pirates ran away immediately, which made people think that they were a group of cowardly pirates. But such a group of pirates could actually own an ancient weapon like Pluton. In this regard, what Lai Mu said adds some credibility. Damn Garp. He had the most contact with Roger, so it was impossible for him not to know about such things. Why not report it? On Sora's side, Lai Mu's words changed his mind. He thinks this recruit is very enlightened. And at this time, Kizaru comes here again. Everyone is here. Marshal Kong, I have some new information here. Vice Admiral Garp led Aokiji into two groups. Aokiji seems to have caught up with Roger. What? Upon hearing the news, Sengoku felt the danger signal and stood up. Roger is difficult to deal with. Isn't Aokiji the only one? Aokiji is Sengoku's favorite general. Although he is a bit lazy, he is very capable. If we encounter the Roger pirates now, we might encounter some danger. 034. I want to go to the battlefield. Akainu wants to join forces. 034. I want to go to the battlefield. Akainu wants to join forces. With the information brought by Kizaru, only then did everyone present realize that they had indeed not seen Aokiji in recent times. Unexpectedly, Garp actually took him to chase Roger. For a moment, Kong felt a little dizzy. After a while, Akainu also came to the marshal's office. Before anyone could say anything, Akainu asked to go on a mission. Marshal Kong, I want to participate in the mission of chasing the Roger pirates. Seeing Akainu being so active, Kizaru stepped aside knowingly. Anyway, he is delivering information. Fighting is very dangerous, so let Akainu, the Logia demon fruit power, go. He has the ability to save lives. Marshal Kong frowned. Quick decision. Sengoku, you lead the team, and Akainu serves as the adjutant for this mission. Hearing this, Lai Mu was stunned for a moment. Then he quickly stood up and said, Marshal, I also want to go on this mission. It's rare to encounter the Roger pirates at sea. Everyone in the group is a big shot, so Lai Mu will not let go of such an opportunity. Seeing this, Zephyr intended to stop him, but Kong raised his hand to stop him. Since Lai Mu has known about the Roger pirates before, and he has mastered the high-level application of armament hockey, it would be good to go out and exercise. Take it with you. Yes, the marshal has given the order and everyone is no longer confused. Zephyr, on the other hand, looked as if he had just eaten a whole bitter melon. Wouldn't it be better to train with yourself? You have to join in blindly. Now it's better, his apprentice has become two-faced. On one side are activists like Akainu, and now with Lai Mu, there are two. The others are Kizaru and Aokiji. These two guys can't even scream. But that guy Aokiji is closer to Garp. As for Kizaru, he can't move as long as he can. Naval Headquarters Seaport. After half an hour of busy work, everyone has logged into the warship. The officers and soldiers of the Shaojun headquarters are extremely efficient and have prepared everything. Soon, the two warships set off. Lai Mu, who was standing on the bow of the warship, sighed. It had only been 2 months since he joined Marine. His real rise had to start with his appearance at the Golden Lion. Now that he was a Marine Rear Admiral, his strength was already completely different. If I could see Roger this time and do a little bit more, then it would be considered a complete takeoff, right? But now the main thing is to get attention. Only this is the fastest. In fact, Lai Mu still cares about his position in Marine. Only when he gets a position will he be able to gain more attention. Lai Mu stood at the bow of the boat, with the end of the first half of the Grand Line in front of her. A towering red line separates the world. To cross the red line, you have to have a special way. One is the world over. The second is to dive down and get through. If it were a pirate force, it would be much more troublesome. First, it takes a long time to coat the boat. Only by wrapping the boat like a balloon can it have the function of a submarine. It also has to dive to the bottom of the sea, cross the Fishman Island, and then float up to cross the red line. As for Marine, it is much more convenient. Naval Headquarters occupies one of the most important positions in Marineford. Not far away is Pangu City, which is controlled by the Red Earth government. Sengoku's warship can rely on the red line sling to go directly to the other end of Pangu City, then lower the rope and climb over the red line to reach the new world. This saves a lot of time. If we talk about basic configuration, pirates and marine are not on the same level. It was Lai Mu's goal this time that made him a little worried. Although he now has the physique of an iron giant and does not have the weaknesses of devil fruit, logically speaking, survivability should not be a problem. But this time, maybe we will face two big pirate groups. Battle of Etwall. Lai Mu didn't think everything too well. Roger, as the son of destiny, can be regarded as the protagonist of an era. But he may not be a good person, he may even be his enemy. Even, as Golden Lion and Roger get closer, they may become sympathetic friends. As for why they turned against each other later, it was completely driven by interests. Therefore, if this exception occurs due to his own exception, it is possible for Golden Lion and Roger to unite to deal with Marine. At this time, a tall figure appeared in front of Lai Mu. How's it going? Are you comfortable with these swords? One look at the figure and he knew it was Akainu. Akainu said this just to deepen the favor that Lai Mu owed him. Indeed, these two pairs of swords can be said to be the most powerful pairs of swords. Putting it in the hands of a swordsman like Lai Mu would save him the trouble of finding famous swords in the future. Famous swords have endless attraction for every swordsman. And if it weren't for Akainu, these two famous swords would still be in the hands of Golden Lion. It's not an exaggeration to think of it as a favor. After Akainu learned that Lai Mu defeated the T-Dolphin in the potential test, he took it more seriously. There was no mistaking this newcomer. He really has the potential to become his own staff. Moreover, according to Lai Mu's consistent positive performance, Akainu saw his own shadow. This completely gives Akainu a different experience than Aokiji Kizaru. Although those two are very capable, they are not in the same league. It is very pleasant to get along with people like Lai Mu, and we should strengthen our connections more often. Of course, I have to thank Akainu Vice Admiral for the gift of the knife. As far as I know, Akainu Vice Admiral used to use knives. Giving away 2 famous knives is considered a gift. As for the spoils of war, as long as the position is high enough, you have the right to distribute it yourself. If Lai Mu hadn't appeared, the double swords would not have appeared in his hands. Akainu didn't say anything about the knife. After a pause, he changed the topic. Let's join forces. This time we face 2 big pirates, Golden Lion and Roger. 035. Arriving at New World, Aokiji is seriously injured. 035. Arriving at New World, Aokiji is seriously injured. Join forces. Lai Mu was surprised, but not surprised. People like Akainu who pursue self-righteousness will definitely do whatever it takes. At the same time, he will not let go of opportunities easily. With the current strength of the 2 of them, they are no match for Golden Lion and Roger. Sengoku and Garp are the protagonists of this operation, and they can only help from behind. Wanting to get a bargain is wishful thinking. Joining forces is just Akainu trying to find possibilities in the impossible. Okay, but Akainu Vice Admiral, can you tell me about the current situation? I still don't know the specific information. Akainu glanced at Lai Mu and then spoke. According to the intelligence information we at Marine have just received, the Roger pirates returned to the New World not long ago. Lai Mu nodded, but it was still a little strange. What's this? Haven't the Roger pirates been in and out of the New World several times? For ordinary level pirates, the entire Grand Line can almost be said to be a point of no return. They must sail carefully according to the record of the pointer, otherwise there will be dangers everywhere. Therefore, from the moment you step into the Grand Line, it seems that there is only one way to go. Slowly walk from life to death. The exceptions are the top pirate groups. For the top pirate groups, greatness is another matter entirely. They can roam freely on the Grand Line, getting in and out is no problem at all. Because there are many big pirates in the New World, the most common ones are annexations and alliances. To be precise, New World is the pirate's back garden. The big pirate is the master, and it is difficult for Marine and world government to control the affairs there. Just like Golden Lion, with his Lion Fruit ability, he turned his pirate group into a flying pirate group. Whether it is the New World or the Calm Belt, it can enter and exit the world anytime and anywhere. Other top pirate groups can also rely on their abilities to do nothing but sail. Compared to the soldiers of naval headquarters, pirates are more suitable to survive on the sea. In short, the whereabouts of this type of pirate group are elusive and they have great freedom. If it were just the Roger pirates, it wouldn't be a big deal, but this time, the Golden Lion has been following the Roger pirates. There have been several battles between the 2 pirate groups. With the Roger pirates slightly weak, now it's a situation where you are chasing after me, but who knows what's going on inside, it's possible for them to join forces in the end. They are both evil pirates, we have the same chemistry. Akainu glanced up. At this time, the warship has been tied with strong ropes. The entire warship was already far away from the sea and began to climb steadily. Lai Mu ignored these things and joked. This is not necessarily a bad thing. Maybe we will kill both pirate groups in one go. Akainu must have known the difficulty and also knew it was a joke. It can be seen that Lai Mu does not have a trace of fear. There was even a hint of excitement in Lai Mu's eyes. Akainu felt that this trip was not in vain. It seems like this guy is in the right place. As he spoke, time began to turn into night. Lai Mu also has time to plan his future path. The attention gained by my system has reached 650,000 again. It is only 350,000 away from the 1 million attention draw. As long as he meets Roger and others, Lai Mu is sure to have another lottery draw. This time, thanks to his outstanding performance in the potential test and showing his different powers to Kong and Sengoku Admiral, etc., if I really want to say that, maybe he is not the opponent of Akainu Kizaru Aokiji now, but he is already considered the leader among Marines. Through this group of senior executives of naval headquarters, Lai Mu has gained a lot of attention. But the most popular ones are still about the character of T-Dolphin. He alone has contributed nearly 400,000 points of attention. Just like now, the T-Dolphin is still recovering from his injuries in the hospital bed. But it is still providing a steady stream of attention. Seeing this, Lai Mu couldn't help but smile. This pirate world is quite interesting. The deeper the hatred, the less difficult it is to gain attention. Sometimes it is not necessarily only the good people who will be remembered, but the bad people may attract more attention. Lai Mu once again has his eyes on his reward. Gravity Fruit. Swordsmanship at the level of a swordsman. Medium observation hockey. Top armament hockey. Iron giant physique. Top level creativity. This is the trump card Lai Mu now holds. Unfortunately, some of the rewards are still mid-level, and they will all have to be replaced in the future. He will use more advanced skills instead. Then, when he didn't get a new draw, he could only rely on top creativity and research new moves. Completely mastering the power he possesses and practicing new skills are what he wants to do on the way. 5 days at sea passed quickly. Lai Mu occasionally comes to the warship to fish, but more often he is in the fitness room to experience the benefits of the Iron Giant's physique. In addition to the powerful recovery ability and defense, the biggest experience is the change in strength. At this moment, Lai Mu can easily lift a 600 kg dumbbell. As for where the limit is, he will have to experience a life and death battle to know. As his strength increased, Lai Mu's appetite also became terrifying. During this period, his appetite increased more than 5 times, and his height also mushroomed, rising a full 30 centimeters to 2.56 centimeters. Of course, with the special characteristics of the Iron Giant, he can completely adjust his bones and various muscle groups. It is also possible to compress the height. But he didn't think it was necessary. It's best to let things take their own course. If it's really too high and you can't stand it, then talk about it. This day, a black spot began to appear in the distance. The crew on the warship also became excited. Voyage during this period. Wherever the warship passed, the pirates saw that it was the Sengoku Admiral's ship and had already avoided it. The entire Marine Corps was boring along the way, and now there is a boat, even if it is an appetizer. But, let everyone down. When I got closer, I realized it was a naval headquarters warship. The specifications are definitely not as high as the warship of Sengoku Admiral. When they met, the hull seemed a bit compact. Immediately afterwards, the warship lowered the hanging ladder. A sailor climbed up nervously, and before he could stop, he loudly reported. Report Sengoku Admiral, Aokiji Vice Admiral, he is injured. 036. Sengoku's rage. Aokiji broke his leg. 036. Sengoku's rage. Aokiji broke his leg. Upon hearing this, Sengoku immediately teleported to the small warship. To be precise, it's a medical ship. Later, Akainu and Lai Mu also arrived on the hospital ship. After seeing Aokiji's situation, Lai Mu couldn't help but frown. Aokiji is already considered a strong man. He is also a user with the Logia frozen fruit ability. He also possesses the ability to see and hear color and armament hockey, and he is quite proficient. When it comes to life-saving ability, the General Vice Admiral cannot compare to him. But even so, he was seriously injured. On the hospital bed, Aokiji was receiving an intravenous drip. There were many scars all over his body. Even though he was wrapped in gauze, it could be seen that his chest was sunken, and one of his legs was even broken, making him as bloated as a sea cucumber. Lai Mu remembered it as soon as he saw it. This left leg looks familiar. But this time, it's not as serious as the subsequent Akainu-Aokiji battle. Is it possible that this injury may lead to a broken leg in the future? Aokiji is Sengoku's favorite subordinate, and he may have the chance to become an admiral in the future. Although he was not fatally injured, he would recover within a few months. But looking at Aokiji's broken leg, Sengoku felt a dull pain in his heart, and he frowned for fear of any sequelae. Akainu on the other side was watching, not knowing what he was thinking, and said nothing. This scene happened to be seen by Lai Mu, but he didn't say anything. But he had already imagined a scene in his mind. In a closely matched battle, knowing one of the opponent's weaknesses may be an opportunity for victory. I'm afraid Akainu has noticed Aokiji's left leg injury at this time. In the subsequent 10 days and 10 nights of the Punk Hazard battle, Akainu in the end, he took advantage of this weakness and defeated Aokiji. It seems that I cannot easily expose my weaknesses in the future, nor can I expose my true strength. Who would have known that people you meet every day might become enemies in the future because of disagreements and different ideas? What's the situation? After a long time, Sengoku said. Faced Sengoku's inquiry, a vice admiral on the side began to tell what happened. Sengoku Admiral, it's Roger. We encountered the Roger pirates. At that time, our sentry saw the Roger pirates ship in the waters of 8 Wall. According to our previous intelligence, the Roger pirates generally do not take the initiative to attack marine warships. Originally we just followed them from a distance, waiting for the support of Vice Admiral Garp, but this time, they took the initiative to attack. After a great battle, we were defeated. In the end, it was Aokiji Vice Admiral who broke off and used the frozen fruit ability to freeze the sea area and freeze the Oro Jackson of the Roger pirates. Aokiji Vice Admiral used the ice to move and escaped from the pursuit of the Roger pirates. The situation was so urgent that only Aokiji Vice Admiral knows what happened. But, after Sengoku heard this, he took another look at the unconscious Aokiji. I got it. Send Aokiji back to Marineford to recover. I'll call someone to take care of him. Yes, call this Vice Admiral away. At this time, only Akainu, Lai Mu and others who came this time were left in the ward. After a long time, Sengoku slowly said, go to the main ship for a meeting. At a warship meeting, Sengoku took several the resourceful general and Akainu to discuss how to deal with Roger. According to general principles, Lai Mu, a rear admiral, is not eligible to participate. Fortunately, Sengoku was more interested in Lai Mu's potential, and with Akainu's suggestion, Lai Mu was qualified to attend. The meeting reached a later stage. Sengoku still hasn't figured out why Roger would attack Marine so decisively. It stands to reason that it is somewhat abnormal. Although the two have not fought directly, Sengoku believes that Roger's action this time was an abnormal behavior regarding the character of the pirate group. Now, Roger took action personally and seriously injured his own men. This made Sengoku hate Roger so much. Lai Mu was on the side, looking thoughtfully. It seems that these characters in the pirate world all have historical grudges. During the Summit War, Sengoku was so disrespectful of his old friend Garp that he directly ordered Ace to be executed in advance. You must know that Ace is Roger's son, but he is also Garp's grandson, but he was still announced by Sengoku in front of the whole world. Ace is the most evil bloodline. Could it be because of this historical period? Seeing that everyone was still confused about Roger's behavior, Lai Mu couldn't help but shake his head. Lai Mu knew his chance had come. At this time, Lai Mu said, Sengoku Admiral, I have a guess. 037. Final conclusion, because of the historical text. 037. Final conclusion, because of the historical text. Faced with the abnormality of the Roger pirates, Sengoku and others were at a loss. Therefore, when Lai Mu spoke, he immediately attracted their attention. Well, since I brought you on this mission, you can speak freely. After all, he is the new Rear Admiral of Naval Headquarters, so it makes sense to adapt to the meeting in advance. Sengoku did not refuse, but was an encouragement. Lai Mu recalled the plot he knew. Now Roger's pirate group has experienced a supernova appearance, but its reputation is still not as great as that of Golden Lion Whitebeard. However, after the Battle of Etwall, Roger's reputation will be comparable to that of Golden Lion Shiki, Whitebeard Newgate, and Redbeard. Earl Redfield is one of the 3 legendary pirates. After that, he became the only pirate king. In other words, the Battle of Etwall is a turning point for the Roger pirates. They will come to the forefront and become one of the biggest threats to naval headquarters. After a moment of pause, Lai Mu said bluntly, I think Roger must have something that the Golden Lion wants, otherwise the Golden Lion would not have spent so much effort chasing him. And Roger's crew of only 28 people was able to escape from people with lion fruit abilities like Golden Lion many times. This only shows that Roger's elite pirate group can fight against the flying pirate group. This time, Roger took action decisively and even seriously injured a Logia user like Aokiji Vice Admiral. This may be the turning point for Roger from behind the scenes to the front. He will become the biggest threat to our marine. Lai Mu's first sentence explains why Roger was chased by the Golden Lion. Then the second sentence shows that Roger's forces are few and far between. The third sentence explains Roger's purpose of attacking Aokiji. Gall D. Roger, perhaps because of time constraints, is unwilling to hide it anymore. Sengoku also frowned when he heard Lai Mu's words. But now Lai Mu's thinking is very clear. There is indeed a possibility that Roger is not willing to hide anymore. Ancient weapon Pluton. Sorry, Lai Mu Rear Admiral, I didn't tell you about Pluton before. With Lai Mu's first guess, Sengoku remembered that Marine did not tell Lai Mu the reason why Roger was Golden Lion this time. Sengoku said apologetically. After all, everyone was on a mission, so it was really unjustifiable to keep Lai Mu and others in the dark. Ancient weapon is the best secret of this world. It is also inaccessible to ordinary people. Akainu, who was present, had never heard of it, and showed a puzzled expression when listening. Then, Sengoku took this opportunity to speak. The Roger pirates have been in and out of New World many times and have sailed around the entire Grand Line several times. They must be looking for something. Akainu nodded on the side. Generally pirates find an island to occupy and then develop their power, but the Roger pirates are completely opposite. They are more like traveling, maybe just to find Pluton. Lai Mu listened patiently and did not say anything. Just because what Roger is looking for is not Pluton, but the historical text, and even the legendary island, Raftel, the end of the entire pirate world. Only by collecting 4 historical text road signs and connecting them according to the 4 coordinates provided by them, can a chart be drawn, which is the location of Raftel. The achievement of finding Raftel was only accomplished by Joyboy 800 years ago, and the second person after that was Roger. Find Raftel and you'll learn the secrets of this world. He is the Pirate King. Obviously, Roger became the Pirate King first. Even more than 20 years later, there is still no second person found. This shows how far ahead of the times what Roger is doing. Just when Lai Mu didn't know how to speak, Sengoku glanced at Akainu, nodded and spoke directly. It's the text of history. Historical text. Akainu was a little confused. He was talking about ancient weapon Pluton before, but now he has reached a blind spot in knowledge. Akainu asked in surprise. Historical text, what can Roger do with this thing? The historical text is an indestructible stone tablet. Divided into 2 types. One is the historical text of 4 red road signs that record Raftel's location information. The other is 26 historical texts that record a blank 100 years of history, including 9 historical texts that record important information. When the information on these 26 pieces of historical text is combined, a complete article that records the blank 100 years of history can be formed, which is the real historical text. In the pirate world, people know very little about the historical text, and only some scholars know its significance. In addition, the historical text is scattered all over the world, and it takes a lot of energy to collect it. Even if you sail the Grand Line 10 times, the chance of collecting it is very small. Historical texts are also prohibited from being studied and read by the world government. The text on the historical text is ancient and cannot be deciphered by ordinary people. Therefore, most of them are not taken seriously. Even marine executives like Akainu only know that there is a historical text, but they don't know what its specific function is. Ancient weapon is recorded in the text of history. Not just Pluton, there are 2 other ancient weapons, the Sea King and Uranus. 038. The Surging Art Wall. 038. The Surging Art Wall. It is said that in a long time ago, there were 3 weapons that could destroy the world, namely Pluton Pluto, Poseidon Poseidon, and Uranus Uranus. These powerful ancient weapons have disappeared into history. Quote. The only thing we know now is that the locations of 3 ancient weapons are recorded in the historical text. Of course, after years of control by the world government, there are very few people in this world who can read the historical text. Therefore, the government doesn't pay much attention to it, so it's a thing of the past. Under Sengoku's explanation, others in the conference room were a little surprised. Akainu closed his eyes and thought for a moment, then stood up and said, could it be that there are people in the Roger Pirates who can read the text of history? They are here to collect ancient weapons and destroy the world. According to the evil bloodline of pirates, they would really do such a thing. These damn pirates. Akainu's words made Sengoku frown. Whether it is true or not, the problem now is that the Roger Pirates are looking for the historical text, and Golden Lion is chasing them, which shows that Golden Lion also has this idea. We have to pay attention to this matter. As Lai Mu said, the threat level of the Roger Pirates has reached the level of the 3 legendary pirates. Lai Mu didn't say much on the side. Roger is different from Golden Lion, so Sengoku guessed half of it right. There are indeed people in the Roger Pirates who read the text of history. Because of this, he set out to find the final island. However, he didn't explain too much. It's not that he didn't understand the reason why man is innocent and carries a jade. If he knew too many secrets, he would be feared by others. Lai Mu can pretend to be a reckless man, but he can't really be reckless. While everyone was debating the results, a sailor suddenly opened the door and came in. Sengoku Admiral, we have important information to report. There is a historical inscription in the sea west of 8 volume. What? The sudden news is like ringing a clock, making people clearly know that it is the hour. It's more like confirming that the 2 groups of pirates are just for the historical text. Sengoku did not blame the intelligence agency for delaying the report, but gave the order directly. Head to the west blue domain of 8 Wall at full speed. We are very likely to meet the Roger Pirates somewhere. 8 Wall Sea area. This area of sea is very huge. According to the speed of the pirate ship, even if it is a straight line, it will take 5 days to walk from east to west. If you want to find something in it, going back and forth, and encountering weather factors such as storms, it will take a month to start. At this time, Kalamoto Island in the 8 Wall Sea. The huge Moby DK opened the way and brought 5 squadrons of pirate ships here, and has been anchored for 5 days. This time, the Whitebeard pirates suddenly had 3 more ability users. Respectively, Marco, bird fruit, phantom beast species, phoenix form. Josie, paramesha diamond fruit power user. Bramenk, paramesha pocket fruit power user. Besides, the Whitebeard pirates also have many famous swords and guns. With the addition of these treasures, the overall strength of the pirate group has increased. These treasures were accumulated by Whitebeard during the Rocks era and have never been used, just in order to one day find his family and improve them. In Whitebeard's view, the reason why he did not give up his power to his sons early was to hone his sons' basic martial arts skills first, rather than relying on fruit abilities. However, during the previous meeting with Golden Lion, Whitebeard heard the news from Naval Headquarters. On the Marine side, it seems that they are using their accumulation to directly defeat 4 Marine elites. At that time, Whitebeard knew that times were accelerating. Now the strength of the pirate group must be raised to a higher level. Otherwise, it is very likely that Marine will take over. Of course, Whitebeard had no preference for his sons. Although there were only 3 devil fruits, which were not enough for the whole group, in the end devil fruit chose the 3 Marcos. In other words, Marco and others won the game. At this time, a blonde, crescent-shaped Whitebeard, Newgate was sitting in his exclusive seat on the deck, pouring himself wine. Goo la 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 la. How are Marco and the others doing? Gula la la la. Whitebeard asked loudly towards the sky. The next second, the entire island seemed to have received some kind of summons and began to vibrate. The rocks and trees swayed one after another. People who didn't know the situation thought the sky was falling. Whitebeard is a paramesha shock fruit user, and has developed it to a very high level. Any behavior may cause shock. That's right, Whitebeard is a shocker. Even just laughing can cause an earthquake. Now, they have been on this island for 5 days. Marco and the others ate devil fruit on the first day and have been adapting to the power of devil fruit. In the past few days, Whitebeard, as Devil Fruit's top fusion person, often instructs Marco and others to fuse their power. Soon, Marco, in the form of a blue bird, with flames all over his body, landed directly on the Moby DK. The next second, George, the shining man, covered in diamonds, and Brahmanko, the pocket man, carrying a big gavel, also appeared on the deck. Dad, we have integrated. Whitebeard finished his drink and then said, Gu la 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 la. It's still early for you to fully master the power. Let's set sail. This time we will take the Ite Wolsey route and return to our own territory as soon as possible. 039. After obtaining the historical text, Roger is unable to fly. 039. After obtaining the historical text, Roger is unable to fly. At the same time, on the Art Wolsey route, in a certain ruins on a certain island, the members of the Roger pirates gathered together. A pirate dressed as a scholar placed a rubbing of a historical text flat on the dusty ground, and then reported to Roger, Boss, I can only decipher part of it. Roger has been looking for people who can really understand the text of history over the years. Fortunately, there is half a scholar among his crew. Why half? It's entirely because he didn't fully recognize many historical texts. Although he was only half a scholar, it was better than nothing. With the information he pieced together, Roger felt that he was about to touch the big secret of the world. Certainly, it is particularly important to find a real reader. Roger's beard was curved, his eyes were wide open, and he showed a signature D smile. Ha 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 ha. Sheolif, come on, tell me what you can understand. Kyoloff knelt over the rubbing. He pointed at some ancient texts a little further away and said seriously. These are the coordinates of the 4 red historical texts, namely Zo Island, Wanokuni, West Kalawan Island, and Elbaf. As for the purpose of these 4 historical stone tablets, I can't figure it out. Boss, we need a more professional reader. These 4 coordinates are the location of the historical text of the road sign. Zuowu was later known as Elephant Island. Wanokuni later became Kaido's territory. West Kalawan Island was later Charlotte Linlin's kingdom. Elbaf is the subsequent kingdom of giants. Of course Roger doesn't know the information about these places now. But, now that there is news, I naturally have to go and see for myself. At this moment, Captain Rayleigh showed a smile and came over. Roger, I found that the Golden Lion is chasing me again. He's only 20 nautical miles away. Hear what Rayleigh has to say. Roger patted his straw hat on his head, looking a little impatient, but he laughed the next second. Ha 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 ha. That B*************** D Shiki is such a troublesome guy who is always chasing after him. If I couldn't beat him, I would have to kill him. Ha 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 ha. What can I do now? Kids, let's run. Ha 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 ha. At this time, the teenage Shanks hurriedly handed Roger the famous sword. The knife is called Ace. Roger took the knife and scratched Shanks' red hair, making it messy. Ha ha ha. Let's go, Benetaro. The Golden Lion is coming. Worry about being caught by him. That guy can eat people. Shanks raised his mouth and rolled his eyes, looking unhappy. You know, at the time of Summit War, Shanks was only 37 years old and the youngest of the 4 emperors. With such an achievement, he can be regarded as a destined son. Akainu was 53 years old at the time. Compared to the current Marine Vice Admiral such as Akainu, Shanks was still a little baby. His mission on Roger's ship: just help Roger manage his hat and sword, and mopping the floor of the boat. Anyway, there is no indication now that Shanks will become one of the 4 emperors at sea in the future, and even the owner of the strongest conqueror's hockey. Run. Bring a rubbing of the historical text. After Roger finished speaking, the empty ruins became completely quiet. Nothing was left except a bunch of messy footprints. At this time, it's 20 nautical miles away from here. A fleet composed of 48 pirate ships was rushing towards this place in a mighty manner. Here, I have to say one thing. Golden Lion's floating ability can levitate all materials, which is equivalent to reducing the weight of the original object. For example, his pirate ship has the function of floating. As for making the pirate ship fly, it is entirely because the pirate ship itself has internal power similar to paddles and motors. And the cost of building a pirate ship with its own power is extremely high. So, among the entire Sky Pirates, only the main ship has the flight function. But, just one ship can already make people frightened. It was even called the Flying Pirates. The blonde Golden Lion drew out his 2 swords. Floating to the bow of the ship, the 2 swords pointed forward. Children, let Lousy catch up with them. This time we must wipe out the Roger pirates in one go. Golden Lion has already experienced several battles with Roger. But Roger ran away every time. Of course, now the Golden Lion has recognized Roger's strength. Roger has the strength of a great swordsman and conqueror's hockey, so the Golden Lion has to pay attention to him. When it came to the Battle of the Valley of the Gods, Golden Lion didn't pay much attention to Roger's appearance, only thinking that he was a pirate with no limits on his behavior. What kind of pirate would it be to cooperate with Marine? The Golden Lion even thought that Roger showed signs of surrendering to Marine. And at that time, Golden Lion's own thoughts were more or less the same as those of Roger and Marine, so he ignored Roger. However, now Golden Lion feels that he was wrong. He understands that Roger also has ambitions. The strength is even more powerful than his own. He had only seen such strong strength in Whitebeard Newgate and Red Earl Beloric Redfield. As for Captain Rocks, that is another level of existence, enough to make everyone afraid. On swordsmanship, hockey, taijutsu, devil fruit. Rocks are all top-notch. Impeccable. Even now, Golden Lion feels inferior. Therefore, for such a powerful opponent like Roger, Golden Lion will not take Roger's life unless it is really necessary. The more idea is to pull the Roger pirates onto its own ship. Undoubtedly, this will greatly enhance the strength of his pirate group. The two didn't know each other until they fought, and finally cherished each other. But for people like Golden Lion, he only sees the strong in his eyes, and Roger seems to meet all the conditions. Now, on the sea, clear skies. I believe it won't be long before Golden Lion can catch up with Roger. On Shiki's side, all the crew members accumulated this year were gathered together to form a fleet of 48 pirate ships. The overall strength of the Sky Pirates is no longer on the same level as the Roger Pirates. Young men, divide your troops into 3 groups and surround Roger. Soon, 48 pirate ships spread out, under the leadership of the captains of each major division. From 3 directions, they quickly moved toward the Roger Pirates. This time, Roger has no wings to fly. 040. Communication meteorite, Roger Pirates are surrounded. 040. Communication meteorite, Roger Pirates are surrounded. As night falls, we are getting closer and closer to the Ite-Wolsey route. Lai Mu used anti-gravity and jumped directly to the mast of the deck. Now he has complete control over the power he possesses. Looking up, I saw the bright moon and sparse stars. This is not a good sign. Because, Lai Mu knew that on the day of the Battle of Eight Wall, it was the storm that led to the failure of the Golden Lion, and tonight, the Milky Way was so clear. Most likely, there was no stormy weather. As a result, I may have taken the wrong route. However, Lai Mu also felt that since there is a historical text in the Eight Wall Sea area, Roger must have gone westward. In addition, with the destiny of the Son of Destiny, it is not impossible to suddenly control the wind and rain, and it is not impossible for God to be good. The reason why Lai Mu attaches so much importance to this sniper attack on Roger pirates and Golden Lion pirates. It's all because he's about to start the Diamond Lottery. Such a beautiful thing must be accomplished by these top experts. At this moment, after a few days of training with Lai Mu, coupled with top talent's creative ability, he has fully adapted to his own strength. In his mind, he could already see that the sky was full of black spots, some the size of ants and some the size of sparrows. These are meteorites floating in outer space. Certainly. If summoned, I don't know how many times the size will increase. Lai Mu was afraid that he would be negligent. Just summon giant meteorites to destroy the whole world. And the reason why Lai Mu can see so far away. It's entirely because of a special function of the gravity fruit. He can attach an upward gravity to the observation hockey, allowing the hockey to break out of the atmosphere and communicate with meteorites in the sky. It's like putting a mark on observation hockey, and when a meteorite is detected, he can use the power of the gravity fruit to pull it back. Meteorite falling from the sky. Observation hockey is like air and has no weight at all. When gravity is applied, it can fly very far. This ability was only developed by Lai Mu yesterday. It must be the same reason for Fujitora later. Of course, compared to the blind Fujitora's sight color, the current Lai Mu only has an intermediate sight color, and all he can see is a small black dot, which is definitely inferior. It seems that winning the lottery is still the most important thing. Lai Mu was moved. I don't know if I can pull meteorites from space. His eyes were firm, ready to find a small meteorite to try. As Sakura 10 entangled gravity, after it was released, a purple gravity circle immediately flew towards the sky. In just 2.56 seconds, it began to pull a small meteorite the size of an ant. After moving a certain distance, the meteorite stops falling downward. The result he wanted was clear. As long as Lai Mu is willing, he can really make meteorites fall from the sky. Then, he continued to test pulling a few slightly larger meteorites. The result was that he could pull meteorites the size of big-headed ants, but it was unknown how large their diameter would be when it came to the world. Of course, Lai Mu does more than just communicate with meteorites in the sky. Ability similar to the universal pull in Hokage was also developed by him. Blackbeard's dark water is only for those with abilities. And his gravity fruit is aimed at everyone. It is estimated that this ability will be of great use in the future. The gravity fruit is so powerful. Furthermore, according to my understanding, it only takes 2.56 seconds for a beam of light from the Earth to reach the moon to recover the signal. I estimate that after applying gravity, it is also the speed of light. On Pirate Planet, the position of the meteorite in the sky is equivalent to position of the moon on Earth. A magical world, this time travel is worth it. Immediately afterwards, Lai Mu tested releasing observation hockey straight ahead. A moment later, Lai Mu became excited. He could see from the outer outline that there were islands, mountain peaks, and dozens of pirate ships. Dozens of pirate ships. What else could this be if it wasn't the Golden Lion flying pirates? Except for Whitebeard and Golden Lion, no one else on the sea has the strength to form a large fleet, and Roger is a single ship. Moreover, it is also consistent with the actual situation of the Eight-Wall naval battle in Lai Mu's mind. Isn't it the Sky Pirates besieging the Roger Pirates? Just follow the Golden Lion. Are you still worried that you can't find Roger? Therefore, the current pursuit route is correct. Lai Mu would not choose to reveal the special role of his knowledge, and he would not take the initiative to say it when there was no problem with the route. We will meet soon. ... Time flies by. In a blink of an eye, it was already a sunny day. At this time, the Eight-Wall Sea area. A sea of pirate battleships had surrounded a ship. In the middle is the Oro Jackson of the Roger Pirates. 041. The naval battle of Atwal. Dorag is coming. 041. The naval battle of Atwal. Dorag is coming. Aboard the Oro Jackson, Roger was wearing a brown-red coat. This time he did not wear a straw hat, but a pirate hat. He looked deeply at the pirate fleet surrounding him in the distance. Shiki, what the hell are you doing? Roger shouted with some dissatisfaction. Roger was tired of being chased for so long. On the other side, Shiki also boarded the bow, standing on the head of the Golden Lion on the bow, holding a smoking cigar in his mouth, his long golden hair swaying in the sea breeze, looking very haughty. Roger, I've invited you several times along the way. Come on, as my deputy captain, let's conquer the sea together. The Golden Lion extended the invitation again, his eyes fixed on Roger. Golden Lion still attaches great importance to a strong man who is even more powerful than him. Moreover, now that Roger has been surrounded, it is difficult for him to fly. In such a situation, Golden Lion wants a reply. Ha ha ha, I'm very sorry, I'm really not interested in conquering the entire sea. Roger grinned, turned to his crew and said, what do you think? Certainly, Shiki was not surprised, but he had already given his sincerity. There was no intention of tricking Roger into boarding the ship. On the contrary, if the two of them join forces, their chances of conquering the sea will be much greater. Don't be in a hurry to refuse. Think about it. With your and my abilities, as long as we cooperate, this sea is within your grasp. Moreover, you must have the ancient weapon Pluton in your hand. You Roger pirates can't activate that weapon at all. Only if we join forces and find the legendary key can we. Golden Lion was so attractive that he felt that he had let something slip, so he quickly changed the subject and said, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Roger doesn't have much interest in ancient weapon Pluton right now. I got it purely by coincidence. As for the Pluton activation key, mentioned by Golden Lion, Roger was even more dismissive. But if you want to give up Pluton to someone else. Is it possible? As a pirate, the most unbearable thing is to be robbed by others. Naturally, Roger refused decisively. I have no interest in conquering the world. If you can't be free as a pirate, then going to sea is completely meaningless. So, Shiki, no matter how many times you suggest it, I have only one answer. I refuse your invitation. Under the current circumstances, the Roger pirates are about to be destroyed. Still want to refuse? What's going on with this guy? Don't you think about your own life? Shiki's face turned gloomy, and his fingers began to tremble slightly, about to use his fluttering ability. Take action when you see Shiki. The crew members on Roger's ship are also preparing for battle. Especially the intern Buggy the Clown. I usually clean up on the boat. Have you ever seen such a scene? There are a total of 48 ships on the opposite side. Captain. Boss. I just counted. Golden Lion has 48 ships. We are already surrounded. Why don't we agree to him first? Let's escape after this matter is over. Shanks put the straw hat on his head. He casually drew out his unknown sword. Buggy idiot. If you agree to Golden Lion, you won't have a share in the future treasures. Red Wolf, you are the idiot. Treasures are important, but life is even more important. I saw two interns arguing. Everyone on Roger's boat laughed. Ha 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 ha. You've been on the ship for so long and you still don't know the captain's character. What the captain said is always true. Besides, the captain's body can no longer support being busy anymore. We have to hurry up. At this time, Roger pulled out the ace knife. Brothers, fire. Golden Lion never expected that the Roger pirates would be so tough. This has reached a dead end. Still have to fight hard. It's not that I didn't give him a chance, and I was sincere enough. Now, what I get is still rejection. Moreover, Roger still has the ancient weapon that he must take. If he is allowed to leave, it will only affect his maritime dominance. Then, just die at the bottom of the sea. Golden Lion felt a little regretful for making such an awakening, but there was no other way. Among pirates, interests come first. If your interests are violated, no matter who it is, you must get rid of it as soon as possible. In the beginning, Rox, as the captain of the pirate group, was infinitely powerful. However, as long as Rox was around, the other pirates would never be able to get ahead, or even have a chance to compete. This is not just being killed by design. Now, the Golden Lion will not hold back Roger in the slightest because of his rising affection. All aim, fire immediately. Blow Oro Jackson to lousy. Boom boom boom. Immediately, all major ships set up artillery, and as a circle of thick smoke burst out from the cannon muzzles, the cannonballs quickly hit the target. On the sea, those shells that had lost their targets exploded immediately. Countless waves of water shot up under the power of the explosion. White water columns covered the entire sea area. At the same time, on the sea not far away, 4 marine ships have arrived here. If we look at the size of a single ship alone, the marine ships are much larger. After all, it is one of the richest forces in the world. Naval headquarters has always been equipped with excellent equipment, and the power of a single ship is comparable to that of several pirate ships. Moreover, the people on the ship are all elites. Sengoku, Garp, Crane, Akainu, Lai Mu. This time, Garp and Sengoku have joined forces. Next to Garp, there was an unfamiliar face. Judging from his face, he looks a bit like Garp. That is the Naval Headquarters Vice Admiral, the user with the ability of the Logia Wind Fruit, Monkey D. Drag. 042. Signs of the destruction of the Sky Pirates. 042. Signs of the destruction of the Sky Pirates. DeLog is a man of few words, has a cold face, and wears a green cloak. He was not wearing a marine uniform, but he was still training. Garp temporarily transferred him from an island in the New World. Akainu looked at Dorag, but had something else in mind. Among the Marines, the older groups such as Sengoku, Garp, Zephyr, etc., Akainu has no intention of competing, because their accumulated military achievements and strength are far beyond his own, and they know that they are no match. But Akainu has a yardstick in mind for his peers. To become the most valued soldier in this department, he must strive for this first place. Now in Naval Headquarters, Kizaru and Aokiji are apparently on the same team as him. DeLog is an exception. He has been personally trained by Garp over the years. He has rarely made a move on a series of occasions, but the few times he has made a move, he has won by a large advantage. This shows that Dorag's combat power is not simple. At this time, Garp stepped forward and said to Sengoku, "Ha ha ha, Sengoku, ahead is that B***** D fleet of Golden Lion. Do you know anything about it? What can Sengoku do? According to his current team configuration, he is not at a disadvantage in terms of high-end combat power, but in terms of strength in numbers, it is the opposite of the previous situation on Kara Island. All the pirates of the Golden Lion group attack, and they clearly have the upper hand. What are the clues? Now we have found out that the Golden Lion's fleet has 48 ships, plus the Roger pirates. If we rush over recklessly, we will become their only target in the chaos. Sengoku's thinking is right. We can't be reckless. We can wait and reap the benefits. Crane Vice Admiral said. Lai Mu said nothing on the side, listening to the sound of gunfire in the distance, looking at the clear sky, and then turning to look at the cold face, with some inexplicable thoughts in his heart. What happened? Golden Lion and Roger both started fighting. Aren't there going to be storms? Isn't it because of this guy Dorig's intervention? Ha ha ha, I have a way. Garp patted Sengoku's shoulder continuously to signal him not to be nervous. Sengoku looked disgusted with this old guy. Although you, Garp, have strong personal abilities, you are not suitable for this kind of chaos, not to mention that this is on the sea, and there is no place for a fight. No, let me tell you secretly that Dorag is already a user with the wind fruit ability. He can create strong winds. Ha 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 ha, you have to keep my son's secret. A secret Garp's loud voice was heard by everyone on the warship. Hearing this news, Akainu frowned. Logia Fengfang fruit. This is the same Logia as his own lava fruit, and it belongs to the first echelon of Logia. The wind and wind fruit can create wind pressure and create all kinds of weather. Under the influence of strong winds, the person with the ability can fly freely as light as a swallow, and can even blow up huge targets. Buildings will be destroyed wherever the strong wind passes. Hurricane. It will change the color of the entire sea. Lava fruit represents attack power. The Fengfang fruit is the representative of natural disasters. I didn't expect that Dorag would have such luck. However, despite taking it seriously, Akainu is not vain at all. And to hear Garp say this, Sengoku was stunned on the side. After all, Dorag is the son of a comrade in arms. He has lived in naval headquarters since he was a child, and Sengoku also watched him grow up. It's just that this kid is a bit cold and not very approachable. But Delog became a strong player. The two elders, Sengoku and he, were quite happy. Very good. Strong wind and lava, these two Logias, we can defeat the Golden Lion. Sengoku turned to look at Dorag under the green cloak, and guessed that Dorag was fused with devil fruit on a deserted island. Dorag, how far has your fruit ability developed now? Dorag's expression did not change, and he said calmly, on the sea, no one is the opponent of the wind. Finished. A small green whirlwind appeared on Dorag's palm. On the warship, the sails with the marine logo continued to flap, and the sailing speed increased at an extremely fast rate. Good ability. Sengoku couldn't help but sigh. Just a small whirlwind in the palm of Dolig's hand can drive 4 sailboats to break through the top speed. How can anyone be shocked? Ha ha ha, I worked so hard to steal it from the pirates. After Garp finished speaking, he quickly covered his mouth. Because, according to Garp's military rank, he has the full right to handle the spoils he gets. But you still have to report it to the headquarters. Just like Akainu holding 2 swords for Lai Mu, he had to submit information to Marine headquarters. Failure to report is a lack of military discipline. Garp accidentally forgot such an important thing. The situation was serious, and Sengoku didn't care about Garp's temperament. And at this time, Dorag stopped driving the wind. The green whirlwind on his palm disappeared. But at the same time, his face also became serious. Because that's where everyone's eyes are. In the sky above the Golden Lion fleet, suddenly dark clouds gathered, lightning and thunder roared, like a black city pressing down on the territory, and an unprecedented storm seemed to be brewing. A strong wind blew from a distance, and the marine soldiers on the warship were blown around. Under the strong wind, Garp shouted loudly so that others could not hear. What's going on? You're not out of control, right? Dorag. Delog looked ahead and directly denied. I don't have such a powerful ability now. This is a natural storm. Lai Mu knows. The storm will only be late, not late, it is finally coming. This is a sign of the destruction of the Golden Lion pirates. P.S. Thank you all readers for submitting the data. I can only report it in code. Some readers have left comments that the author has read. There are indeed bugs in military ranks and other aspects. If you want to change it, you need to apply to the editor. The process is a bit troublesome, and it has little impact on the plot. Finally, thank you all again for your input data. You guys are so awesome. Keep coding. 043. Target confirmed, all troops attack. 043. Target confirmed, all troops attack. Seeing the sudden storm in front of him, Sengoku hesitated. Wait until the storm passes. Otherwise, our ships cannot withstand such a storm. If we continue to fight Golden Lion Roger, we will basically put ourselves in danger. Counselor He and the others nodded, acknowledging Sengoku's words. The other Vice Admiral, Rear Admiral and soldiers also nodded. Although missions can increase military merit, you still have to have a life to accept them. Although everyone felt that this was a good opportunity to destroy the Golden Lion pirates, the momentum of the dark clouds making everyone retreat. Of course there are exceptions. Akainu and Lai Mu. For Akainu, there is a big thing happening at naval headquarters this year. There will be an Admiral of Headquarters waiting list. If he can get military honors in this naval battle of sniping Roger Golden Lion, then Akainu will definitely get a place. Those who get the Marine Admiral waiting list can basically be sure that after Sengoku Admiral and Zephyr Admiral retire, they will be on the waiting list. The position of Marine Admiral is guaranteed. Under such circumstances, how could Akainu not be moved? But Lai Mu's idea is even simpler. He knew that the storm in the Battle of Eight Wall would not last long. Now the Golden Lion's fleet was probably experiencing the ravages of the storm, and all that was left was to pick up dead fish. It is unjust to waste such a good opportunity. Therefore, he was a little anxious and was thinking about countermeasures. Akainu hesitated, but still stood up. Sengoku Admiral, I think this is a good opportunity to destroy Golden Lion Roger, and we should seize it. Hearing what Akainu said, the surrounding soldiers panicked and started talking in low voices. This storm is too big. We feel it so strongly even on the edge, let alone in the center of the naval battle. It's so scary. To rush into the storm now is to die. It would be bad if we suffered heavy losses. Conservatives like Sengoku and Suru do not agree with Akainu's suggestion. The lives of Marine soldiers are equally important than capturing Golden Lion Roger and others. Although the opportunity is rare, it makes the decision maker hesitate for a moment. Dorag still had a dead fish face and didn't show anything. He was a user with wind and wind fruit ability. He didn't need to worry about this danger at all. Even if it was a storm, he could enter freely, but he didn't care about military exploits or anything like that. Garp, on the other hand, held the back of his head and laughed without saying anything else. Akainu felt a little angry when he saw that no one supported him. Who are they? Did you just let go of the opportunity to make a great contribution? Marine is such a coward. If he takes the position of admiral, he must strictly enforce military discipline. At this moment, Lai Mu stood up. Sengoku Admiral, Vice Admiral Garp, Crane Staff Officer. I don't think the risks we face will be too great, but the rewards will be great. After Lai Mu finished speaking, Sengoku and others paid attention to it. This way, it was based on Lai Mu's inference that the Roger pirates were looking for the historical text. Therefore, without Lai Mu's inference, it would not have been possible to easily find the locations of the two pirate groups. In Sengoku's view, this kid Lai Mu not only improves his combat power rapidly, but he can also play a certain role as a think tank. So, now that Lai Mu said this, everyone was a little curious. Sengoku said, Lai Mu, tell me. Garp on the other hand shrugged and went out to travel by himself. This guy was promoted to Rear Admiral. This speed has already surpassed Akainu and others at that time, right? And Akainu finally felt a little moved. This guy is indeed on his side. Apparently, the previous suggestion that he join forces had an effect. Akainu was looking forward to what Lai Mu would say next. As long as you convince Sengoku Admiral to let the warship enter the battlefield, your spot as a candidate for the grand prize will be secure. Lai Mu did not hesitate. It's very simple. First of all, we have Dorag Vice Admiral. He is a user with the wind fruit ability and the one who controls the storm. Although it is difficult to fully fight against the strong natural storm, there will be no problem in keeping a few warships sailing. And I am a user with the gravity fruit ability, so I can stabilize a few ships. When everyone heard this, they woke up one after another. Sengoku looked at Monkey D. Drag. That's right. As a user with the wind fruit ability, Delog has the ability to protect a small area from being troubled by storms. With the addition of Lai Mu, a user with the gravity fruit ability, wherever the warship sails, it will be safe. Moreover, whether it is Dorag, Akainu or Lai Mu, they are actually only second-line combatants. The real main force is Sengoku and Garp. As long as the warship is stable enough, they can fight freely. Upon hearing this, Akainu became more convinced of his idea. This guy can play a major role at critical moments and live up to his own importance. On the other hand, Dorag was a little numb at the moment. He has been at naval headquarters since he was a child, and the longer he stays, the more confused he becomes. He always feels that everything he does is meaningless, but he doesn't know where the future will be, so in the past 2 years, his strength has risen rapidly, but in Marine in terms of military achievements, he behaved badly, like a transparent person. Now, although he can ensure that he can control a small area of sea, let a few ships sail stably. But he just wasn't interested. Why bother? I am letting Lai Mu sell it. What's more, Gall D. Roger and I have crossed paths several times and are considered half-friends. If we really want to pursue him, we might as well help him secretly. Under the deep attention of Sengoku and others, Dorag nodded reluctantly. I have no problem. At this moment, Lai Mu continued to add. Secondly, a storm has arisen in the naval battle center. The Golden Lion pirates and Roger pirates will inevitably be damaged. We also have Logia-capable users like Akainu Vice Admiral and so many artillery pieces. It's completely you can attack from a distance and increase the pirates' losses. As long as we pretend to attack and watch the fire from the other side, we can reap the benefits. What Lai Mu didn't say much was, he can also make meteorites fall from the sky. If the summoned meteorite hits the ship, the Pluton battleship probably won't be able to withstand it. Lai Mu, well done. Your plan is very good, but there is one mistake, and that is you underestimated me and Garp. Sakazuki, Delog, and Lai Mu, you three are responsible for protecting the safety of the main ship. Without my order, you are not allowed to leave the hull easily to hunt down the pirates. Now, get ready and attack with the entire army. After Sengoku gave the order, the 4 warships got busy in an orderly manner. In the midst of the busyness, Akainu approached Lai Mu and whispered a few words to him. 044, Golden Lion defeated. Meteor falls from the sky. 044, Golden Lion defeated. Meteor falls from the sky. At this time, the center of the storm in the Eight Wall Sea area. Captain Roger, there's a storm. Buggy saw the sudden storm and the whole ship was about to overturn, and he was so scared that he almost cried. Rayleigh immediately came over and punched Buggy on the head. Why are you nervous? Go and control the sail. Mr. Rayleigh, I'm scared. Shanks was very agile and ran directly to the sail and began to control the sail with ropes. Rayleigh ignored Buggy and turned to Roger and said, the storm is good for us. Rayleigh, of course. Roger laughed. You guys, give up the attack and run away with all your strength. Ha 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 ha. Roger shouted to the Golden Lion. Golden Lion, it seems that luck is not on your side. See you next time. Far away. The location of Golden Lion's fleet seemed to be where the storm was strongest. More than half of the 48 pirate ships have been overturned by the storm. The remaining half of the crew is working on stabilizing the hull, so there is no fighting capacity left. Damn Roger. Lion fruit has two weaknesses. One, is the fruit of gravity, which is the control of ability. Second, there is the fear of bad weather. The ability to float is like a balloon. It will only rise steadily when the weather is calm. If it encounters a storm, it will be like a duckweed in the rain, controlled by the weather. Therefore, meteorologists are placed on board Golden Lion very seriously. However, according to feedback from meteorologists, today will definitely be calm. How come? As Roger said, luck really was no longer on his side, which immediately made Golden Lion angry. Golden Lion tried to stabilize his body, but was blown around by the strong wind. Even with lion fruit, he couldn't fly. The sky became extremely dangerous at this moment. Damn, this is impossible. Golden Lion was in unbearable pain. Although he was the core of the Sky Pirates, as long as he was fine, he would definitely form the pirate group again and it would take time to make a comeback. But seeing that his accumulation over the years was being destroyed by the storm, Shiki his face darkened. How did that happen? This is not my plan at all. It was obviously fine at first, and the meteorologist said there was no problem. But as the two groups of pirates officially fought, Tien's face changed instantly as if he had received an order. Seeing that the Roger pirates were about to be destroyed by artillery fire. Suddenly there was a storm, everything happened so fast. Golden Lion has been sailing on the sea for so many years, and this is the first time he has seen such a rapidly forming storm. Moreover, the storm was of a level he had never seen before. What makes Shiki even more desperate is that the storm seems to be targeting him. Although Roger's side was also in the center of the storm, they had a tailwind and could escape faster. And on the side of my pirate group, there is not only a headwind, but also a whirlwind and a strong wind. It's unfair. The shouts coming from the surrounding area made Golden Lion a little confused. Hold still and furl the sails. Ah, help. I fell into the water. Throw the rope over quickly. No, the whole boat was capsized. In just a few moments, the storm tore apart the Golden Lion's fleet. It can be said that of the 48 ships, only the sturdiest main ship is still holding on, and the others have been completely wiped out, which can be regarded as a loss of all the accumulation of Golden Lion over the years. As a result, even a hero like Golden Lion became depressed. At this time, a piece of sad news with a cry came again. Admiral, something's wrong. The mast of the main ship has broken, creating a crack in the hull. If this continues, the main ship will also be torn apart by the storm, and it will not be saved. Golden Lion was stunned for a moment, grabbing the railing on the side of the hull with one hand and looking towards the mast. At this time, sawdust from the ship's planks was flying, and even a cannon was blown up by the whirlwind and rotated around the ship. The next second, the artillery hit the deck. As the artillery rolled to the ground, it hit the rudder of the ship. The rudder was smashed into pieces and flew in all directions. Golden Lion didn't pay attention, and the rudder of the ship unfortunately stuck on top of his head. Ah. The sudden pain made the Golden Lion roll on the ground in pain. He endured the pain and roared unwillingly. He looked like crying and laughing, almost crazy. Gia ha 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 ha. Why are you trying to tease me? The Conqueror's hockey on Shiki was flying around uncontrollably at this time, and even the fence was shattered. How could the entire pirate group be so miserable? At this moment, the sky suddenly seemed to be shaken by his unwilling roar. In an instant, the sky became clearer, making Shiki even more desperate. Why? Is it really fate? The boat gradually stabilized, and Golden Lion's eyes flashed with confusion, his face showed bitterness, and he kept muttering in his mouth. Although the storm has passed, but after such an experience, according to the state of the rudder above the head of the Golden Lion, the strength has dropped by at least half, and it is no longer possible to pursue Roger. Art Wall, the Golden Lion's battle to encircle and suppress the Roger pirates has been completely declared a failure. However, the nightmare is not over yet. An injured crew member poked his head out of the observation room and reported in panic. Admiral, it's Marine here. There are 4 fleets approaching us rapidly, faster than any warship I have ever seen. Shiki recovered and immediately stood up from the ruined deck. Seen from a distance, the 4 warships were shrouded in green wind, and their sailing speed was several times faster. It seemed that they had been blessed by Devil Fruit's ability. On the bow of the boat, 2 tall men were standing. It is the highest combat power of naval headquarters, Sengoku and Garp. Sengoku that B ************ D, Garp that B ********* D. Damn it. There are people with Logia wind and wind fruit abilities on the warship. Nah, another top fruit that has an impact on Lousy. Impossible. Golden Lion suffered another heavy blow and felt like he was going numb at this moment. Today's experience made him feel like he was being tricked by God. Lion Majesty. Golden Lion didn't think much and slapped the deck decisively, immediately launching the main ship into the air. Shiki has already felt the impact of the rudder on his strength. If he fights Sengoku and Garp again, he will definitely lose. Although the hull is now damaged, its basic functions are still there. Therefore, Shiki planned to lift the ship to 10,000 meters and survive this disaster first. As long as he is in the air, even if Marine has wings, it is impossible for him to pursue him. Driven by its floating ability, the main ship made a creaking sound, and then rose precariously from the sea. The water dripping from the bottom of the ship made the sea surface seem like a heavy rain at this moment. At this time, Golden Lion was shaking a little and panting heavily. He walked to the bow and stared at the approaching marine ship. He said loudly in a somewhat aggressive tone, "Jia ha 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 ha. Sengoku, we will meet again," while Shiki focuses on the warship. Golden Lion was also found here in Sengoku. Embarrassing. The entire Golden Lion fleet is in such a sorry state. Shiki seems to have a rudder stuck on his head. What is certain is that the entire Golden Lion fleet has no combat capability. But it is almost impossible to chase the flying pirates. No one on my side has the ability to go to heaven. At this time, Sengoku, as the commander-in-chief this time, decisively raised his hand and issued the admiral order. Garp, Drag, let's use the main ship to chase the Roger pirates. The first officer stays. Crane, Sakazuki, and Lai Mu are responsible for handling the endgame on the sea. You must capture every member of the Golden Lion's crew who fell into the water without missing a beat. Send them all into Impel Down. Under Sengoku's order, the Marines split into two groups and quickly took over the battlefield. With the blessing of Dorig's wind power, Sengoku and others quickly chased the Roger pirates, and soon they were far away from the embarrassing Idewall battlefield. After Sengoku and others left, Akainu took one look at Lai Mu and decisively boarded the bow. The current Golden Lion is at the end of its strength and it is a good opportunity for him to make contributions. Immediately, Sakazuki's arms began to emit hot lava, and he punched the Golden Lion main ship in the sky continuously, leaving behind a series of afterimages at a high speed, and huge lava fists sprayed towards the sky. Meteor Volcano. According to Akainu's plan, he will use the Meteor Volcano to attack the Golden Lion's pirate ship, and Lai Mu also has his own mission, which is to use gravity to pull the ship down. But the plan failed to keep up with the change, and the Golden Lion had already taken off. This distance combined with the floating of the lion fruit, told Lai Mu intuitively that there were two forces acting on the ship, and pure gravity could not pull it down. Therefore, with a thought in Lai Mu's mind, under his swing of the sword, circles of purple gravity waves shot up. In an instant, the gravity wave disappeared into the clear sky. After Lai Mu put away the knife, it seemed as if nothing had happened. Meteorite traction. Immediately afterwards, Lai Mu felt that his body was as light as a swallow, floating towards the hull of the ship under the action of anti-gravity. 0.045. Golden Lion's ticket is Lai Mu's life. Amazing video. 045. Golden Lion's ticket is Lai Mu's life. With Akainu and Lai Mu taking action, the sky changed color again. The clear sky, where the clouds had dispersed, became overcast again. However, this kind of dark cloud is completely different from before, more like consisting of bursts of black smoke. This is the ultimate skill of Akainu's lava fruit, Meteor Volcano. Although it is not perfect yet, it is already lethal enough. Meteor Volcano is when his fists turn into molten material to produce a large number of giant lava fists and launch them into the air. Then the magma fists like meteor showers will continue to fall from the sky, turning the earth into a sea of lava and fire. Because this skill is AoE and the accuracy cannot be adjusted, Akainu can only hope for better luck. What he is concerned about is Lai Mu. Does he already have the skill to fly? Looking at Lai Mu who has been chasing away, Akainu is not worried about his life safety, but cares about how far his gravity fruit has been developed. It seems that a new monster has appeared in Marine. And Commander, he is organizing the capture of the pirates who fell into the water. Seeing the two reckless men of Marine China, they were almost furious. If you don't catch the pirates who fell into the water, why bother with a flying Golden Lion? In particular, the recruit named Lai Mu seems to want to use anti-gravity flight to get to the Golden Lion ship. He can't stop him. Can you catch the Golden Lion? This class of Marine soldiers is difficult to lead. The other side, while Sengoku and others are chasing the Roger pirates, they are also paying attention to the endgame behind them. After seeing the lava fists falling all over the sky, Sengoku also showed concern. Obviously, this is caused by the Akainu lava fruit. What Sengoku is worried about is that if the Golden Lion is angered, it will launch a carbine, and then the auxiliary ship behind will be in danger. Garp has a big heart and said calmly, "Why are you worried so much? There is still a crane here, right? I'm just afraid that he can't control these two people." In Sengoku's view, the recruit Lai Mu is somewhat similar to Akainu. They both care about promotion channels and are the kind of people who are ambitious for power, which is why they have performed so desperately since joining the team. What Sengoku doesn't know is that the reason why Lai Mu wants to pursue the Golden Lion is entirely because the attention is approaching and the diamond lottery is about to start. For promotion or not, is it important to have real abilities? Wouldn't you be a fool if you don't come at this time? Sengoku is worried about the next second. On the battlefield behind, the sky changes again. I saw all the meteor volcano falling in the distant sky, but the sky pirates were not a vegetarian either. Those who could be on the main ship were all elites. Braving the hot lava fist, the swordsman on the Golden Lion ship flashed with light, and soon they were split the lava fist in half. Some lava fragments still fell on the Golden Lion's ship, and thick smoke billowed out after a while. A tail of black smoke dragged out in the sky. Most of the lava was scattered on the sea surface. The sudden high temperature caused the entire area to boil. Waves of water vapor filled the sea. Under the heat, the pirates who fell into the water let out wails. However, the situation suddenly changed. The next second, a meteorite broke through the layers of dark clouds and landed rapidly. And that volume is much larger than the lava fist. This is a meteorite. It must be Lai Mu's fruit ability. Sengoku and others who were chasing the Roger pirates were surprised when they saw this scene. What surprised them was not the terrifying power of the meteorite, but the progress of Lai Mu's development results. Is this kid Lai Mu a genius? The strength has risen too fast. On the warship, Garp picked his ears, then blew his little finger, looked at Dorag who was accelerating the ship and said, "Ha ha ha, it seems that our marine has been strengthened a lot this time." Dorag knew that this was Garp reminding him that he was a member of Marine. Too lazy to pay attention, he just kept the wind at a certain level and let the warship pursue the Roger pirates directly. At this time, all the crew members on the Golden Lion ship became frightened when they saw the huge meteorite falling from the sky. They can hack away at Akainu's lava fist. But such a big meteorite must be a great swordsman like the captain. Some crew members also tried, and with a few slashes, they landed on the surface of the meteorite, but did not stop the meteorite from falling. "Admiral, it's a big meteorite." Golden Lion, who was taking off, also noticed the situation and became nervous again. After turning his head and looking down, he saw a familiar figure. The man was holding a pair of swords in his hands. It was Sakura Tukiku. Lai Mu. Seeing Lai Mu chasing after him in the air, Golden Lion was completely angry. Originally, Lai Mu was on Golden Lion's must-kill list because of the gravity fruit and Sakura Jumuku. Now, his gravity fruit has been developed to the extent that he can summon meteorites. Now that Golden Lion is in sight again, how can he not stop thinking about it? If we let it go, even the Golden Lion himself wouldn't be able to offend Lai Mu, who possesses the gravity fruit. At this time, when Shiki was defeated, the desire to vent his anger immediately occupied Golden Lion's entire heart, and a plan was immediately formed in his heart. This time, let the little devil Lai Mu keep his life. Drawing out the two swords from his waist, Golden Lion slashed directly at the meteorite. Lion. Thousand Slice Valley. Countless sword lights shot up into the sky, and the moment they came into contact with the meteorite, they immediately tore it apart. But some of the scattered meteorites still hit the bow of the ship. The bow of a pirate ship is usually designed to have the characteristics of the captain. At this moment, the lion's head, which was the decoration on the bow of the ship, was smashed by the sliced meteorite, and the broken wooden planks exposed the entire cabin. Golden Lion held back his headache and became even more angry. He found that Haki also had problems using the rudder. However, he is a Golden Lion. Relying solely on the swordsmanship of a great swordsman, I am confident that I can kill Lai Mu, a little sailor. Next moment, Golden Lion slowed down the speed of the ship's liftoff so that Lai Mu could catch up with him. Now we have to wait for Lai Mu to get on the boat. And the boat ticket is Lai Mu's life. At an altitude of 10,000 meters, no one in the world can be the opponent of Golden Lion. With Lion Fruit, Golden Lion has that confidence, even if Rox is resurrected. Also at this time, Lai Mu was chasing the Golden Lion in the air when a familiar sound sounded in his mind again. Ding. Get 150,000 attention points from the big pirate Golden Lion. The accumulated points have reached the lottery conditions. Do you want to choose the lottery? Seeing that he finally won the lottery, Lai Mu paused slightly. Very good, I finally accumulated enough diamonds for the lottery. Then, whether we pursue it this time or stop here, it all depends on the prize. Lai Mu stopped looking at the rewards and immediately ordered, "System, redeem me for the diamond lottery right away." 046. Diamond Reward Kamui. The air fleet will be sunk forever. 046. Diamond Reward Kamui. The air fleet will be sunk forever. Ding. The diamond pointer draw has been completed. Congratulations on obtaining the swordsmanship of a great swordsman with a sword style. The swordsmanship of a great swordsman of the one sword style is definitely better than the swordsmanship of a great swordsman of the double sword style. Hearing this prompt, Lai Mu knew that his swordsmanship had been improved. His identity as a double sword swordsman has also transformed into a single sword swordsman. Then, the second beep sounded again. Ding. The diamond pointer lottery is over. Congratulations on getting the top level of awareness improvement. If top level creativity is the ability to play tricks on oneself, top level perception improvement is equivalent to learning ability. After receiving this reward, Lai Mu's learning ability will increase by several levels, and she can learn anything very quickly. This reward has no immediate effect, but it will be of great help in the future. When the system does not reward herself, Lai Mu is now fully capable of self-taught. Lai Mu was happy. The third prompt sounded. Diamond pointer. There are 3 chances to win the lottery. Lai Mu is somewhat looking forward to what the last reward will be. Ding. The diamond pointer lottery is over. Congratulations on getting the bloodline boundary from the Hokage world, Kamui. Lai Mu was obviously stunned when he saw this reward. Kamui, this is not a reward from the pirate world. I have seen the Flying Thunder God technique from the Hokage world on the turntable before, but unfortunately I did not draw it. But now, It seems that the more powerful, Sharingan Mangekyo Kamui, has to be taken seriously by Lai Mu. Kamui. Kamui is an advanced time and space ninjutsu. Its ability is essentially to transfer any object between real space and alien space. In addition, Kamui can also resonate with other time and space ninjutsu. Different dimension, extremely confusing space pupil technique. Close black lens bracket. You can hollow yourself to avoid enemy attacks, and you can teleport close objects or people into time and space. Close black lens bracket. Feeling the new power of his fusion, Lai Mu was pleasantly surprised. It turns out it's Obito's share, the power of his right eye. Although it is not a double Kamui, it has greatly enhanced its strength. The ability to save lives is simply not too strong. Moreover, Kamui also possesses an extra-dimensional space, which is a top-notch skill for killing people and stealing goods. It is not an exaggeration to say that it is a space prison. As long as he is caught in the extra-dimensional space, no one can escape. Kamui can also achieve long-distance transfer. It is estimated that the different dimensional space can overlap with the real space and can enter and exit freely. In this way, Lai Mu already has the greatest support. Before Lai Mu could think about it, he saw Golden Lion's ship slowing down. He was probably waiting for himself to take the bait. A golden lion with his head stuck in the rudder of a ship, relying on his great swordsmanship and gravity fruit, now also has yin skills like Kamui. Are you afraid that he can't cure you? Golden Lion, if you meet me, your time will be over. Thinking this way, Lai Mu also slowed down his liftoff speed, and at the same time used gravity to communicate with the Golden Lion's hull, allowing the hull to pull him up into the air. Every effort he could save was worth every point. In this way, one boat and one person rose steadily, reaching a height of nearly 10,000 meters. Pulu pulu pulu. Pulu pulu pulu. At this moment, the phone bug in Lai Mu's arm suddenly rang. When soldiers at naval headquarters go on a mission, they usually have a telephone bug. Lai Mu picked up the call and found out it was Sengoku Admiral. Soon, Sengoku's anxious voice came from the phone. Lai Mu, where are you now? I can no longer see the situation on your side. Military merit is important, but you don't need to risk your life. Hurry back to the warship and wait. This is Admiral's order. Unless Golden Lion wants to die, catching him will be even harder than climbing to the sky. Taking advantage of the naval battle of 8 Wall and the damage to the Golden Lion, Lai Mu would not miss this God-given opportunity. Sengoku Admiral, I've caught up with the Golden Lion. I found that he was seriously injured. This is a good opportunity to capture him. This G Golden Lion is floating 10,000 meters high in the sky. Could it be that Lai Mu? Sengoku suddenly felt bad. No way, is Lai Mu so reckless? Dare to fight the Golden Lion at an altitude of 10,000 meters. Although the gravity fruit is top-notch, no one can rival the Golden Lion fruit at high altitudes. The opponent is the famous Golden Lion. Even if he is injured, not everyone can offend him. You are at. I've reached a position 10,000 meters away from the sea. The wind is too strong and I can't hear clearly. That's it, Sengoku Admiral. With that said, Lai Mu hung up the phone. The phone bug seemed to have heard that he had gone to heaven. He couldn't help but show a look of horror and let out a drop of snot. At this moment, Sengoku, who was chasing the Roger pirates, suddenly felt a little ugly. Damn it, among Marine, you, Lai Mu, are the most reckless. More reckless than Akainu. Now I am chasing Roger, how can I save you? Also when Sengoku was in distress. The Roger pirate's Oro Jackson suddenly stopped, and the next second, a blue figure crossed the bow of the Jackson and came directly to the midair in front of the Sengoku warship. The blue flames fluttering on his body indicate that this is no ordinary thing. In the next second, Marco changed from bird form to half-animal form, and his entire face was exposed. It's Marco. He is the top leader of the Whitebeard pirates. An observer came over urgently from the tower to report. Then, a white pirate ship bypassed the Oro Jackson, and the entire ship appeared in front of everyone like a giant whale. Then, 1 ship, 2 ships, 3 ships. The fleet flying the Whitebeard pirate flag has arrived here. Seeing that the person coming was Whitebeard, Garp was not at all shy. He took off his tie and said loudly with some excitement, ha 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 ha. I didn't expect all the members of the Whitebeard pirates to be here too. The 8 Wall incident is destined to trigger news on the entire route. Ha 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 ha. Why doesn't Sengoku understand the situation until now? I have heard that Whitebeard and Roger had an intersection before. Looking at this situation, it seems that they want to join forces to cause trouble for themselves. Marines and pirates are at odds with each other. There have been many wars in recent years, and there are countless instances of the 2 groups of pirates uniting. According to the similarities between Whitebeard and Roger, it is entirely possible for them to join forces. Trouble. Soon, Whitebeard's angry voice came from the distance. Gula la la la. Sengoku, Garp, this is the new world for pirates. Gula la la la. By the way, Roger, the last time we fought was a year ago. I hope you are stronger this time. At this time, Roger also heard a voice. Newgate, why don't you help me get rid of the tail first? Ha 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 ha. Finally, after Sengoku thought deeply, he did not accept the provocation from Whitebeard and Roger, but instead retreated. Sengoku was more concerned about Lai Mu's condition at the moment than doing useless work with these 2 groups of pirates. Seeing that everything was fine, Dorag decided to use the wind force and return directly to the scene of the 8 Wall naval battle. Garp was a little itchy and wanted to find someone to fight with. Seeing the fleet retreating, I suddenly felt a little angry. Sengoku. Dorag. ... At the same time. Thousands of meters in the air. Golden Lion's ship has hovered. Shiki waved his hand and floated in front of Lai Mu, raised his eyes and glanced at Sakura Jumuku, and said. Gia ha 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 ha. Lai Mu kid, Laozi's sword is not something you can get your hands on. You don't have Admiral to help you this time. Have you figured out how to die? Facing the provocation of Golden Lion, Lai Mu looked normal. Golden Lion, I have a hunch that your air fleet will sink here forever. Gia ha 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 ha. Ignorance takes the move. 047. Kamui. Are you Captain Rocks? 047. Kamui. Are you Captain Rocks? At an altitude of 10,000 meters, the wind is a bit cold. As the two figures continued to move, the atmosphere was heightened. Especially the crew of Golden Lion. They had known for a long time that their admiral had obtained Sakura Tokugashi's swords on Kara Island, but they were taken away by Golden Lion in advance. They are not sure what happened at that time. I heard that they were snatched away. Now, Sakura Toki is in the hands of Marine in the air. This is the person who stole the admiral's famous sword. Now that this Marine is alone, he will accept the admiral's wrath. At this time, snort. After a cold snort, Golden Lion directly took out Guanxi Zhengzong. With a hiss, he disappeared from the spot. The release of Golden Lion Hockey has been effected, but the swordsmanship is still the pinnacle of the Grand Line. You still haven't changed, Golden Lion. Although your combat experience is better than mine now, it would be a big mistake to try to defeat me with swordsmanship. Armed. As Lai Mu clenched it with one hand, the wood in his hand instantly wrapped around the blade. Both of them disappeared in midair, with only afterimages disappearing and appearing. Dang, dang, dang. Above, Lai Mu did not raise his head, because his vision had already locked onto the Golden Lion. At this moment, with the increase in anti-gravity, Lai Mu quickly jumped into the sky. According to his current physical strength, he can only last 10 minutes in a fierce battle. If he cannot defeat the Golden Lion, he can only use Kamui to escape. While at high altitude, Golden Lion could observe Lai Mu's movements with the naked eye, and quickly used Shunpo, causing Lai Mu to miss. The sky is indeed your territory, you are like a fish in water. Lai Mu frowned. He knew that Lion Fruit could play a key role in air combat. Even if Golden Lion had been affected by the rudder, it could not be defeated easily. Slash wave. With just one stroke, the Golden Lion aimed a crescent-shaped slash dozens of meters long at Lai Mu in the air. The air wave brought by the slash caused chaos in the sky. However, Lai Mu did not dodge, and actually swung the sword with his backhand, sending out the same slash, instantly blocking the Golden Lion's slash wave. As soon as the two slashes came into contact, they exploded instantly. Even the pirate ship of Golden Lion in the distance kept shaking. The swordsmanship of the great swordsman. You are not the brat you were back then. Golden Lion narrowed his eyes and said coldly. I never expected that the swordsman brat who could easily be cut off by me with both swords before would actually have such strength in such a short period of time. Golden Lion never expected to face such an opponent. He guessed that either the opponent's talent was extremely high, his swordsmanship improved rapidly, and he had reached the threshold of a great swordsman. But the chance is almost zero. Golden Lion guess. Lai Mu himself has great strength, but he was just pretending to be stupid before. But, lousy is a Golden Lion. Lion. Thousand Slice Valley. In the midst of lightning and flint, dozens of slashes flew towards Lai Mu in an instant. At this moment, Golden Lion was about to confirm his point of view. This type of saturation attack is extremely powerful. Golden Lion is sure that there are only a handful of people in this world who can beat them. Shiki continued sullenly, and finally became serious. Lai Mu then pulled out Sakura Ju, who was still hanging on his waist, and merged the two swords, which was more suitable for deflecting the slash. Above the sky, the sword light danced, and the collision between the swords resounded through the sky, like thunder. Lai Mu swung his sword one after another, and the Golden Lion's slash was deflected by him with his two swords, flying directly to one side and finally disappearing at the edge of the sky. Some of the slashes landed on the Golden Lion pirate ship, directly cutting off the stern of the ship, causing the crew to rush in. After deflecting the slash, Lai Mu retreated at least a few dozen meters. However, he always resisted forcefully, watching the slashing attack go away and disappear into the sky. He is indeed the greatest swordsman on the sea, his power is truly extraordinary. If you hit a hill, you have to level it. But his swordsmanship is not a vegetarian either. It seems to be a tie. Lai Mu said with a smile as he stopped. A tie. Boy, I admit that your swordsmanship has reached the level of a great swordsman, but this is in the sky, Laozi's home court. The Golden Lion holds two knives in his hands and keeps flying through the clouds at a speed that is difficult to catch with the naked eye. Lion Fruit's ability must first come into contact with matter and then be used by me. The next second, Lion Majesty. Govern place earth coiling. As the Golden Lion roared, the clouds began to change. First there was a burst of explosions, and then they turned into the shape of a lion. In the open sky, these lions formed by clouds and water vapor roar directly from all directions. The whole sky resounded with the roar of lion beasts. It's useless. In the face of gravity, your fluttering ability is completely restrained. Gravity Shenglong. Seeing the lion sweeping in from all directions, Lai Mu held the handle of the knife in reverse, pointed the two swords downwards, and fired the gravity knife from the bottom up. This is a technique recently developed by Lai Mu. It can cause all objects in a wide range to receive reaction force and disrupt the center of gravity of all matter. Time. The lion formed from the white clouds was dispersed by gravity. Seeing that Admiral Golden Lion's ultimate move was easily cracked, the crew members who were still on the pontoon all showed surprise. Looking at Lai Mu is like seeing a monster. There are only a few people in the world who can fight against the Golden Lion. But unfortunately, the Marine Rear Admiral in front of him could not be named, and he was even younger. Such a genius was simply too terrifying. As the lions formed by the clouds were washed away, the purple gravity field spread across the sky, and purple light pillars shot straight into the sky. Even the clouds were dancing with purple electric light. The pirates who were still on the pirate ship were so shocked that they could not speak. Seeing Lai Mu blocking his moves, Golden Lion was not depressed at all, but rather excited. Gia ha 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 ha. Boy, you don't know how to control power at all. The difference between a strong person and a weak person is that they use the smallest amount of effort to exert the greatest power, but you seem to be breathing harder. Golden Lion crossed his hands, looked down at Lai Mu and said. Shiki still remembers the scene when he got the lion fruit. The fruit was never in the sea, but suspended in the atmosphere, indicating that it was the king of the sky. Making objects float, Golden Lion never takes much effort. As for those with gravity fruit abilities, if they want to maintain a fighting state, their physical strength will be continuously consumed. Golden Lion has seen that Lai Mu is almost exhausted. If the fight continues fiercely, he will soon fall 10,000 meters into the air. When Haki's use is affected, the power of all Shiki's abilities is greatly reduced. All he has to do is use his rich combat experience to consume the opponent's physical strength and make him collapse. Of course Lai Mu knows his own weaknesses, but the Golden Lion's performance is indeed impeccable. He can't imagine how powerful the Golden Lion that can use Haki at will would be without the influence of the rudder. At this point, I can only use all my strength to make that attempt. In an instant, a shock wave erupted from Lai Mu. The muscles all over his body became visibly stronger, and the damaged marine uniform was instantly stretched by the strong muscles. Soon, armament Haki covered his whole body, and his entire body looked like it was forged from steel. Especially Lai Mu's arms, there is a hint of purple gold light in the black Haki. This is a move developed by Lai Mu using the Iron Giant's physique. Functions similarly to Luffy's second gear. While increasing your strength, you can also increase your speed. However, there is also a disadvantage, that is, you cannot persist for too long. If you cannot defeat Golden Lion during this period, then Lai Mu will have to give up. The highest level armed color. Golden Lion frowned, a little surprised by Lai Mu's armament Haki level. He didn't expect that the opponent's strength exceeded his imagination. But it's just the end of the line. The two people in the air clashed again. Swords clashed, followed by punches and kicks, and attacks continued. Clang, 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 boom, boom, boom. The sound of the impact of famous swords and the sound of kicking feet was constant. Thoughts followed by a bang. Lai Mu kicked the Golden Lion away, and in an instant the Golden Lion counterattacked and kicked Lai Mu directly on the arm. Only at this moment, Lai Mu showed a smile, pulled with one hand, and firmly clasped Golden Lion's ankle with his fingers. Golden Lion suddenly felt his body sink. It's over. Golden Lion. The Golden Lion is originally a floating man and is not affected by gravity. He knows that this sinking means that Lai Mu has lost his strength and now is the time to decide the outcome. What? The wind is so strong that I can't hear clearly. What? You said it's over. That's it. Gia ha 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 ha. Golden Lion said arrogantly, and also used his fluttering ability to continuously increase the altitude. Under the leadership of Shiki, Lai Mu followed and soared into the sky. The rising speed was too fast, and the wind made Lai Mu's face feel cool. He ignored it, his eyes flashed, and a magical power instantly caused the entire space to fluctuate. Kamui. Feeling the sudden power fluctuation, Golden Lion screamed in his heart, this kind of power. Deja vu. But no matter how Golden Lion tried to get away, Lai Mu's fingers were tightly clasped around Golden Lion's ankles and he couldn't break free at all. This is impossible. Your captain rocks. 048. Golden Lion's failure. Imprisonment in Kamui space. 048. Golden Lion's failure. Imprisonment in Kamui space. Captain rocks. Lai Mu was a little confused about Golden Lion's surprise. He was just a time traveler, how could he get in touch with rocks? Kamui can suck the objects it touches into another dimension. Unless Lai Mu releases them, they will be permanently imprisoned. The sudden appearance of Uzumaki made the Golden Lion feel like a powerful enemy, and did not answer Lai Mu's doubts at all. Shiki immediately deployed armament Haki defense. As his whole body was covered in armor color, his body that had been pulled by Kamui actually stopped. Exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark. Lai Mu never expected that armament Haki could actually defend against Kamui's inhalation. Lai Mu used the little strength he had left to increase his strength until he could no longer let go. At this time, Golden Lion felt that his armament Haki was suddenly scurrying around, and he began to lose sight of friend and foe. He had a splitting headache and felt that the whole top of his head was about to explode. In an instant, several pillars of blood emerged from his head. At this time, armament Haki disappeared instantly. Kamui Uzumaki spins rapidly. In the blink of an eye, the two of them disappeared into the sky at the same time. The blue sky and white clouds become clear. ... Golden Lion pirate ship. The crew roared involuntarily when they saw Golden Lion leading Lai Mu up, while Lai Mu was passively pulled up, completely at a disadvantage. Haha. Although the Admiral is injured, he is not something a brat can provoke. No one in the sky is the Admiral's opponent. That kid is finished, we will see his fallen body. If you don't overestimate your capabilities, you will only let the Admiral take care of you. While this group of crew members were discussing, suddenly, the entire hull shook, as if it had lost its ability to float, and it fell downwards at a rapid speed. Suddenly, the crew members had no place to stand, and one after another broke away from the ship's hull, floated in the air, and fell, and their wails suddenly resounded throughout the sky. They knew that this was the reason why the Golden Lion's ability to flutter was suddenly disconnected, and there were only two reasons for the sudden loss of contact with the ability to flutter. Golden Lion comatose. Are already dead. This is an altitude of 10,000 meters. At the same time, Atwal was on the sea. Sengoku and others returned here to gather together, and some sailors were cleaning the battlefield. After all, it was a fleet of 48 pirate ships. Based on 30 people per ship, it was conservatively estimated to have 1,500 people. Moreover, the entire sea area is already quite chaotic, and the search and arrest work will not end so quickly. Sakazuki, what's wrong with you? How can you let Lai Mu chase alone? Sengoku was a little dissatisfied and looked at the sky with worry. Akainu didn't care about Sengoku's accountability at all, and said coldly, Lai Mu has anti-gravity flight, and I can't stop it at all. Staff officer he rushed over at this time. I asked them to clean the battlefield, but Lai Mu directly ignored my order, summoned the meteorite, and flew after the Golden Lion. I know. Sengoku also had a headache. Recruit is not that easy to discipline. Especially capable and motivated recruits. And Lai Mu is such a person. Nothing else, he will really come if something happens. What is it for? Sengoku also couldn't figure out why Lai Mu was so reckless. At this time, Sengoku took out his phone and dialed Lai Mu to ask what was going on, but gave up if it didn't work. Pulu pulu pulu. Pulu pulu pulu. When Lai Mu was fighting, the phone bug had been lost and fell from a high altitude. At this moment, the snail phone bug's eyes were filled with tears and he made a cry for help. The sound is getting louder and louder. Word soon reached Sengoku's ears. He was keenly aware that the phone bug seemed to be right above his head. With a single step, he jumped into the air and grabbed the phone bug directly in his hand. After seeing the number of the phone bug as 9527, Sengoku confirmed that it was undoubtedly Lai Mu's. Before anyone came down, the phone bug fell down first. Suddenly, a wave of worry filled Sengoku's heart. And also at this time, countless black spots appeared in the sky, and along with the wails that resounded throughout the world, the black spots grew larger and larger. In the blink of an eye, a somewhat broken pirate ship fell to the sea, and the crew members followed closely behind and smashed onto the water one after another. Jump. With a huge muffled sound, white water waves mixed with various blood-red dots splashed everywhere. After a burst of noise, the entire sea was as quiet as a ghost at the moment. The scene was so horrifying that everyone on the warship was shocked. Although the entire hull has been shattered into pieces and scattered on the sea. But it can still be seen that it is the main ship of Golden Lion with its distinctive parts and pirate flag. In other words, not a single one of the Golden Lion fleet survived the Battle of Eight Wall. And now, except for Shiki himself, all the other pirate crew members are dead, and those who have been captured have been captured. It can be said that the whole army has been annihilated. It can only mean that the main ship loses its ability to float. The Golden Lion is defeated. Lai Mu really defeated the Golden Lion. Although he knew that Shiki was defeated, Sengoku was not happy. He looked up at the sky, but couldn't see the two figures. Lai Mu, where are you and Golden Lion? Kamui space. Previously, Golden Lion's wounds had not healed because he had just been thrust into the rudder of the ship. When he was resisting Kamui, he used armament hockey, which aggravated the injuries. At this moment, he was lying on a gray plane in another dimension, with his two knives scattered aside, and he was completely unconscious. Lai Mu's figure emerged in the space, picked up the Golden Lion's swords on the ground, and put them on his waist. At this time, Lai Mu already owned 4 famous swords. He is on Golden Lion's must-kill list. Lai Mu will not let him go easily. Lai Mu also knows that if Golden Lion had not been injured, he would not have been able to defeat it with his current strength. However, once you get to the Kamui space, you can only be imprisoned by me and be slaughtered by me. What to do with Golden Lion? Should the Golden Lion be sent to impel down, or be imprisoned forever? 049. Return, Roger's plan. 049. Return, Roger's plan. A week has passed since the Battle of Eight Wall, and the sun is shining brightly. The battle scene has been cleaned by marine, and the residue has drifted to an unknown location with the sea currents. The entire sea area is blue and extremely clean. A major came over and replied, Sengoku Admiral, the battlefield has been completely cleaned. At this moment, 527 members of the Golden Lion Pirates crew have been captured. The treasure seized is worth 1 billion belly. Sengoku knew that after such a long delay, it was time to return to Marineford. Sengoku didn't care at all without seeing the Golden Lion's body. He regretted not meeting Lai Mu. On the deck, Sengoku murmured to himself, what a pity, we have lost a future admiral. Hearing Sengoku say this with a gloomy expression, the surrounding marine soldiers all moved. Everyone knows that the person Sengoku is talking about is Lai Mu Rear Admiral. Indeed, without the two suggestions provided by Lai Mu, Marine would not have been able to kill all the Golden Lion pirates so easily. Without Lai Mu's pursuit, Golden Lion's main ship would not have fallen from the sky, and the Golden Lion pirates would not have fallen from the sky. It will not be completely destroyed. Although the Golden Lion's life and death are unknown now, the entire pirate group has been lost. It can be said that the flying pirates have been destroyed. And the biggest hero, Lai Mu, disappeared. Although everyone is reluctant to think about the worst, the fact is like the fallen ship of the Golden Lion, which weighs heavily on everyone. It is very likely that Lai Mu has died. Once again, wait until night falls. Sengoku finally gritted his teeth and gave the order to return. And on an uninhabited island in the waters of 8 Wall. An Uzumaki suddenly appeared, and a figure walked out. Lai Mu can move through space and go to any place in the area. However, Lai Mu, who first obtained Kamui, has not yet fully figured out how to use it, so he ended up living on an uninhabited desert island. At this time, after a few days, Lai Mu has figured out how to deal with the Golden Lion. There are only 2 types. One is to imprison the Golden Lion in the Kamui space and deal with it later based on real-time conditions. In this case, the initiative is firmly in Lai Mu's hands. Secondly, just use seastone handcuffs and other means to control the Golden Lion, and then hand it over to Marine. And this situation is somewhat complicated. It is possible for Lai Mu's name to spread throughout the sea. After all, capturing the legendary pirate Golden Lion would greatly increase a person's reputation. With this, Lai Mu can gain countless attention, and maybe even reach the level with one click. Only, Lai Mu also knows another situation. That is, there is a high chance that this credit will not fall on yourself. The reason is also very simple. Just like the Battle of the Valley of the Gods, did Garp defeat Rox alone? Of course not. Then why is Garp called the Marine hero and the greatest contributor to the Valley of the Gods? It's just that Marine wants to push someone to the front to cover up some facts. Therefore, if I capture the Golden Lion this time, it is very likely that the title will not fall on me, and my plan to harvest attention will fail. At most, I can get some merits from Naval Headquarters, and my promotion will be faster in the future. When you're at Naval Headquarters, you follow the house rules of the workplace. Lai Mu is just a rear admiral and will not be stupid enough to expect such a big credit. Therefore, Lai Mu finally decided to imprison Golden Lion first. Or, as the Golden Lion disappears from this world forever. The phone bug is lost. It looks like we have to find a boat back to Marineford. At this time, an unknown pirate ship appeared on the sea level. Lai Mu's sight shrank and disappeared. When Lai Mu saw Golden Lion again, Golden Lion had recovered, but was still very weak and far from its prime. Moreover, in the Kamui space, no matter how strong the Golden Lion is, he can't make waves. Lai Mu, you are not Captain Rox. Rox again. Lai Mu was a little curious and asked, how did you connect me to Rox? Golden Lion seemed to have entered some kind of memory. He looked a little lonely and didn't want to pay attention to Lai Mu. In his memory, Golden Lion had experienced this kind of different dimensional ability in Rox, but it was still very different from Lai Mu's space. However, the suction force when activated was really not much different. This kind of suction can be defended with Haki. Unfortunately, the rudder on the Golden Lion's head seriously affected Haki's use, and he suffered secondary damage, and was finally imprisoned here. Shiki also knew that if Lai Mu did not take the initiative to release him, then what awaited him would be permanent imprisonment. Why talk about dominating the sea? He is not even as good as a brat. But why does he have this level of power? All the questions came crashing down, leaving him completely confused. But a defeat is a defeat. Thinking of this, Golden Lion's spirit became a little lonely. Seeing that Golden Lion was not in a good mental state and had no intention of talking, Lai Mu also exited the Kamui space. After returning to the real world, Lai Mu shouted to a group of bruised and swollen pirates on the bow, you all come here. Now to Marineford. The current Lai Mu, whose uniform was in tatters, could hardly be seen as a Marine rear admiral. When the pirates heard the order, they immediately trembled in fear and said quickly, brother, where is the Marine headquarters? Go to Marineford to meet the Marine. The Marine was bombarded to death by artillery. We are pirates. Boss, it can't be done. Please let us go. Al, I have a disease that will kill me if I go to Marineford. Lai Mu showed a threatening smile. Do you want to die now, or wait until Marineford? 4 famous swords are strapped to his waist, making Lai Mu majestic and irresistible. An unknown pirate ship set sail like this. However, it is worth mentioning that the speed of pirate ships is incomparable to warships. Don't know when it will arrive. At the same time, on an unknown island, 2 groups of pirates were gathering here. It is the Roger pirates and the Whitebeard pirates. On the sea, when a normal pirate group encounters a marine, they will scatter and run away, just to see who is lucky enough to escape capture. For top pirate groups such as Roger and Whitebeard, if they encounter marine at the same time, they will evaluate their own strength and eventually temporarily unite to intimidate marine warships. This time, Sengoku and others really cannot fight against Whitebeard and Roger at the same time. He escaped without even a fight. Only then did the scene of the 2 groups gathering now occur. Ha 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 ha. Newgate, then Art Wall, what were those things that fell from the sky? There was a bonfire and barbecue on the beach, and the aroma was wafting over the air. Roger and Whitebeard fought 3 battles this week, all of which ended in draws. At this moment, the two were talking about the naval battle of 8 Wall. Grr. Those are the 2 brats from naval headquarters, 1 lava fruit and 1 gravity fruit. As devil fruit so powerful? It's so shocking. Roger, it seems you don't take devil fruit very seriously. Goo la 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 la. I heard that the food tastes bad, but I don't know about it. I wonder what happened to that guy Shiki. Wasn't he picked up by Marine? Ha ha ha. Hey, kids, wine and meat are served, the party has begun. Whitebeard replied. Who knows? After drinking a large bowl of wine, Roger asked Whitebeard's plan drunkenly. Newgate, do you plan to return to your own territory next? Whitebeard glanced at Roger. After traveling through 8 volume, head to Wano-Kuni, and then return to your own territory. Hearing what Whitebeard said, Roger immediately laughed and patted Whitebeard's strong shoulder. What a coincidence, Newgate, I also have something to do and am heading to Wano-Kuni, why don't we come together? It just so happens that the supplies on my ship are gone. I can borrow some from you. According to Roger's plan, he needs to go to Wano-Kuni first, then go to Elbaf, first find 2 pieces of historical text recording the coordinates, and then circle the Grand Line to complete the missed historical text, so that he can know where it is. What is the role of historical text coordinates? Borrow. Snort. We pirates don't borrow things, we only rob them. As he spoke, Whitebeard picked up the cloud cutter on one side, and a burst of momentum burst out. Suddenly, the entire island shook again. Gu la 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 la. Roger, are you sure you want to grab it again? I can't fight anymore. Roger quickly raised his hands. Forget it, I'll just look for supplies myself. That's all. The Whitebeard pirates and the Roger pirates parted ways one after another after their last reunion. The plot behind. It's almost like Whitebeard went to Wano-Kuni first and found Kazuki Oden. Later, Roger asked Newgate to borrow someone, and finally learned the secret of the historical text. 050. Word of Golden Lion's defeat spread across the sea, Admiral waiting list. 050. Word of Golden Lion's defeat spread across the sea, Admiral waiting list. Time passes, and time passes. With Sengoku and others returning to Marineford long ago. Regarding Lai Mu, rumors have been going crazy since the day the warship came back, and the rumors are getting more and more crooked. Even the news came out that Lai Mu and Golden Lion died together. The news agency of the pirate world is also sending out various reports with great fanfare. At this moment, a stack of newspapers was dropped on every pirate ship in New World. People can easily browse recent headlines there. A major event, the Battle of 8 Wall, the Golden Lion Air Fleet was attacked by the Admiral of Headquarters Sengoku and was completely wiped out. In this operation, 527 people from the Golden Lion Regiment were captured, and the remaining 1,500 people were buried in the sea. Close double angle bracket. It has to be said that the news headlines are exaggerated and contain some eye-catching figures. In order to increase the credibility, many scenes of the Golden Lion group being escorted to Impel Down were also filmed. Some familiar faces and numbers were marked one by one, which naturally made the whole sea boil. With such a number of people, Golden Lion has indeed suffered a group-wide attack. In addition, news reports also praised the achievements of Naval Headquarters soldiers. Names such as Marine Admiral Sengoku, Hero Garp, Commander Crane, and Akainu Vice Admiral were all included in the list of praises. Only the Roger Pirates, an important participant, was ignored, and the name of Marine Rear Admiral Lai Mu was not even mentioned. It's like Lai Mu didn't participate in the mission and disappeared. The incident is described as, Sengoku received information about the Golden Lion, so he led his men to pursue him, crossed the Red Line in one breath, and directly reached the New World 8 Wall Sea area, where he finally wiped out all the Golden Lion pirates. Group. Newgate, Roger, Redfield, Charlotte Linlin, Kaido. Naturally, these top figures would not believe the one-sidedness of the report. After briefly reading it, they threw the newspaper aside. However, the photos taken above could not deceive anyone. Golden Lion definitely suffered a big loss this time. I don't know the outcome whether I live or die. But Newgate and Roger, the two participants, took it seriously. Because they all knew that there was a gravity fruit user who participated in the naval battle. His name was not mentioned in the report, and the whereabouts of the Golden Lion were only unknown. Therefore, they concluded that there seems to be some connection between Lai Mu and the Golden Lion. As for what it is unknown. In the waters near Marineford, a coated pirate ship surfaced from the seabed and was moving under the surface. When Lai Mu came to the deck, she could see the sparkling waves above her head. Along the way, Lai Mu robbed 4 pirate ships, constantly changing horses during the trip. He had no grudges against those pirates, and after taking advantage of them, he did not take their lives. With the speed of the horse, Lai Mu has reached the first half of the Grand Line, which is not very far from Marineford. It is estimated that it will arrive in a day or two. Due to the effect of gravity, Lai Mu can use the coated ship as a submarine. Get out, Lai Mu said coldly. Under the sea, a pirate said in shock. Ah, Captain, what did you say? I told you to get out of this boat. Okay, let's go out now. Phew. Several pirates could already see the sun at the bottom of the sea, only 10 meters away from the sea surface, so they did not hesitate and immediately got out of the coating and swam towards the sea surface. Facing the endless sea, they were even more afraid of the big devil on the ship. After several pirates left, Lai Mu used gravity to drive the pirate ship in one direction. At this moment, the beeps kept ringing in his mind. Let Lai Mu know that he is being noticed by Roger and other big shots. It seems that the news of Golden Lion's defeat spread throughout the sea, bringing some attention to itself. During this period, a lot of attention did come out of nowhere. For example, the one from Momoshiki, the one from Chadu, the one from Sengoku et al. I didn't expect that so many people could be gathered together when no one was in front of me. According to the speed of earning points, it seems like we are about to win the diamond lottery again. This time, I was able to defeat the Golden Lion all because of Kamui's buggy skills. I hope that in the next lottery, I can get as many skills as this. At this moment, Marineford, in a certain ward. Chado was covered in gauze and had several broken ribs on his chest. Seeing that Lai Mu was not in the newspaper, according to the nature of naval headquarters, Uran, he was probably afraid of embarrassment, so he described the battle damage to the minimum. Therefore, Lai Mu and Golden Lion, the news of dying together still has a certain degree of credibility. Lai Mu can't come back. The T-Dolphin dropped the newspaper and looked at Aokiji on the side, with secret joy. Aokiji was in the same ward as Chado. He also had several broken ribs on his chest, and his leg was still in a cast. He was hanging on the hospital bed, frowning, thinking that Otodo was laughing at him because his injuries were more serious than his. At that time, when Aokiji was tracking the Roger pirates, Roger took action personally and killed him as soon as he arrived. At present, Aokiji's combat power is not fully formed. He has a high defense due to the Logia fruit ability. He did not pay attention to it immediately, but the result is the first. Time is no match for defeat. Aokiji didn't expect that he would lose so quickly. Only then did he realize how big a gap there was between himself and the top combat forces at sea. This pig is really annoying. You were beaten so hard by Lai Mu that you couldn't even get out of bed. You laughed at me. You're not a turtle laughing at AB*****************. Being injured means I have had some leisure time, but Lai Mu, it's a pity. In the general apartment complex, Momoshiki closed the door to his home. Looking at the closed door of my neighbor Lai Mu, I suddenly felt a little lonely. She didn't understand that Lai Mu didn't seem to be unintelligent, but he was actually willing to sacrifice his life for the Golden Lion. When she walked to the square, some memories resurfaced, making her heart ache. After only a few days of contact, Lai Mu left a deep impression on her. At this time, Momoshiki happened to see Kizaru passing by. Momoshiki then asked, "Kizaru Vice Admiral, what happened in the Battle of Et Wall?" "Hey, it's Momoshiki Rear Admiral. Why, didn't Commander Suru tell you?" Momoshiki didn't ask Suru, so he shook his head. What a pity. At the time of the Battle of Et Wall, the Golden Lion fleet encountered a big storm and was almost wiped out. The Roger pirates escaped through the storm. The Lai Mu Rear Admiral was chasing the flying Golden Lion. The missing one. I heard that his devil fruit has been developed to a high level and can summon meteorites. Even the main ship of the Golden Lion was shot down by him from an altitude of 10,000 meters. Gion, I guess I will confess my love to you again after Ichigo recovers from his injury. What a pity, Lai Mu, I originally thought you two would become boyfriend and girlfriend. If you are together, that guy's thoughts will be over. Lai Mu is obviously such an outstanding person. He is handsome and has a great figure. It's a pity that the news has been lost. Hearing this, Momoshiki looked at Kizaru with some displeasure. This wretched Kizaru senpai can't help but mention anything. If Lai Mu was still around, it would be okay if you mentioned this matter, as it shows your concern for the younger generation. But now Lai Mu's life or death is uncertain, which is no different from declaring death. What's the point of bringing this up now, Kizaru senpai? Isn't it just rubbing salt into people's wounds? Senior, please stop meddling in other people's business. My only focus is on swordsmanship. Gion has grown up, and it's not cute at all. Kizaru complained, holding on to his beard, and then added, by the way, the grand prize waiting list is coming out, and Sengoku and the others are discussing this matter. In the next 2 days, I will take advantage of the great defeat of the Golden Lion to announce it in front of all Marineford soldiers. Then congratulate Senior on your promotion. Yo, I didn't say I would become an admiral candidate. But, the salary of the alternate admiral should be much higher than that of the vice admiral. Faced with all Kizaru's thoughts, Momoshiki was really upset. After hearing this, my thoughts flashed through my mind again. If Lai Mu can come back successfully this time, will he be promoted based on his military exploits? Shaking his head, Momoshiki stopped thinking about it and left quickly with a cold expression.